son.
I can't even fucking see.
Right, we're on, I
You
think.
need to move in a bit.
It says we're live.
Hello, everybody.
Oh. Best start ever.
It is.
Oh my god, this is going to be a nightmare.
Oh, we actually started.
Gonna be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Well, hello, I'm Nicholas Jackson,
I'm
Hello.
Luke Roberts.
I'm Adam Thorne.
and welcome to episode 11 of the Ryan Nerds podcast.
This time with dun 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 video.
And
Well,
we're
kind of.
hopefully live. We don't know if this is actually working or not.
Well, there's a little blippy thing over there that says we're live. Can you even see the chat? Have we got a chat?
No, I couldn't figure out how to use it.
Oh, for Christ's sake. So we could have literally tens of people watching us.
That's a bit overgenerous, I think.
Yeah, alright.
A person might be watching, won't want to chat to us.
Maybe.
To be fair, I probably know him, so I'll probably text me anyway. Should be alright.
Which isn't going to do you a lot of good with my superpower that says you can't use your phone.
Yeah, my phone is switched off at the moment.
Marvellous.
Marvellous. Right, let's begin.
Do we have to?
No, we can just stop now if
Yeah,
you
can
like.
we just
Yeah,
stop the
yeah,
podcast?
I'm
See you
gonna
later,
go
buddy.
home, yeah.
Let's stop the podcast and go home.
Fair enough. That's fine by me. Games we've been playing. We've actually got somebody else. Oh, before we begin, Luke is banned from swearing all this podcast.
Me too.
No, you're not banned.
Oh, I'm not bad.
You're
Right.
fine. You can swear as much as you fucking like.
That is fucking brilliant. What shall we'll see how far we can go with that.
We can really wind them up today.
So this basically means I'm not allowed to talk. Do you want me to just turn off my mic?
Might be easier for you.
Okay, 1 second.
No.
Hang on.
You are banned.
Expletives deleted.
Yeah.
I can't do that. We're live.
Yeah. You can't edit out the expletives. Games we've been playing.
You start. Otherwise, I'll already screw this up.
Well,
Yeah.
previous, yeah, after whatever comes after doing, after on our podcast, I said to these guys,
Post podcast 10.
yeah, post podcast 10, I said to these guys, I admitted, and I only got thrown out of Luke's house, that I'd never played a Final Fantasy game.
Savage.
Yeah.
You are a savage.
So I said to these guys, okay then, what one should I play? And I was recommended to play Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, we could have said Final Corridor 13.
We did only recommend Final Fantasy VII because it was on Steam, I believe.
Mainly it was on
on
Steam.
sale.
That was a
I was gonna say,
requirement. It had to
7
be
would
on
definitely
Steam.
not be my first recommendation of a Final Fantasy game.
It
but
was a
yeah.
requirement that had to be on Steam because I like everything to be on one list.
Well, because we know how much Nick likes MMOs, we were going to say Final Fantasy 14, but might have been a bit much.
Yeah.
Then you would not just have had to throw him at your house, you probably would have had to kill him as well, but yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I would have been
not as bad
I would,
for us if it was 13.
I would have been happy if it'd been
Oh
11.
man, Final Corridor 13 is the best game ever.
I would
Such
say,
an open
I want to
world.
be quite some. I mean, Final Fantasy VII, what I played, it's rather linear. It is very linear.
It's not as linear as 13, God.
It is whenever you try and go slightly off story.
Yeah.
Oh no, you need to go back to the.
Final Fantasy 13, there is no way to even attempt to go off the
You
beaten
just-
path.
It's
You just go,
Corridor Simulator, pretty much, isn't it?
yeah, it's
Oh.
amazing.
Well, we're not talking about Final Fantasy 13. We're talking about Final Fantasy VII.
Never played it.
Bullshit.
I'm not allowed to swear, so it's not a lot I
Well,
can
I'll be
say.
the first one to say it then. Final Fantasy VII being the landmark RPG for PlayStation 1, and as I was saying to you before the podcast, there were 3 big contenders at the time. The PlayStation had Final Fantasy VII, the Nintendo 64 had Ocarina of Time, which was the latest Zelda game at the time, and the Sega Saturn had Panzer Dragoon Saga, which has become a little bit of a slipped under the radar a bit, hasn't it? Not many people have played it.
No, 'cause
in
it costs
comparison
so
to the
much
other two.
now to get.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
they make was it a sequel or a remake on the Xbox? Was it a sequel?
Yeah, it was a sequel, yeah, except it was Panzer Dragoon Auto, wasn't it?
Oh.
Which was more like the original flying shoot 'em up game, whereas Saga was a fully fledged RPG, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a big RPG basically.
I couldn't afford it.
and
It was like
the
£5 million
Saturn's, it was the
back
Saturn's
then.
contender to Final Fantasy VII.
Everything you've just said has just gone.
Yeah.
It's flown off over there somewhere. I have no idea what anything you've just said. They were just meaningless words in the stream.
Yeah.
I can't
We
remember.
lost him at
This,
game.
this was Nick's PC period, so it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
What was going on with the console wars? Oh, console peasants.
Console
What are you
war.
arguing over?
Yes. Why do you buy a PC, you fool?
I have Baldur's Gate 2, and you guys are arguing over these inferior RPGs.
It was pretty much like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII. For those who haven't played it, I can't think there are many out there.
There's literally probably 10 people
Yeah.
worldwide.
I won't bother giving a synopsis then. You know what it's about. I have never played it. I have no idea the story. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Spiky hero with spiky.
Yeah, I did regret that because you get the
Useful
you get the option
character.
to rename your characters at the very start. I tend to rename characters in all my games after me, and that is bloody irritating for the whole game. And all we've got is everybody shouting Nicholas, Nicholas,
I
Nicholas. Oh,
sincerely
piss off.
hope
Stop
you
calling me.
renamed Barrett after you, because that would
No.
be brilliant.
Well, could you imagine
No.
every character in the game? is
Do you
now
know what
called
though? It took me 25 hours
Hank.
to trig that the Barrett and Deus Ex Human Revolution must have been a homage to the Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, because Barrett and Deus Ex Human Revolution has a gun in his arm that folds out, and it's called Barrett. That it took me 25 hours to realise that I was obviously a callback to Final Fantasy VII. That shows you how observant. It shows you how good I'd be as a journalist, picking up those sort of links.
Well, congratulations, mate. That now makes you better than the majority of the journalists out there.
Yeah. Hey, you've got your own copy.
Has he?
Yes, you've all got your own copies. This cost me expensive printer paper. Well, it didn't cost me any printer paper. It cost my parents printer paper. But nevertheless, the thought is there. So what? Well, we're going off topic again. Final Fantasy VII. Things I liked about it. I like the storyline.
I just have noticed the have to fucking register with Square Enix.
Oh
to play it
yeah,
on Steam.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You can't just play it. You have to register with Square Enix. You had to register with Thief, but it fools you into thinking you have an account. It picked up my email address. I thought, oh, I've got an account. I must have signed up at some point. Tapped my details, and then it kept asking me to sign in again and again and again and again. I thought, this ain't right. And eventually I figured out I didn't have an account. It just somehow picked my email address. I don't know where. I'm guessing from Steam. And just trying to get me to sign an account that didn't exist. And eventually you don't need to sign in. You don't have to register the game with it so it knows you've got the game. It's like, this is a game that's, what, 13, 16 years old? Something like
97 it came out.
97, so what's that? Yes, 17
Yeah.
years old. 17 years old. I mean, are they really that concerned people are going to pirate it? Really?
So old.
He's so
I
old.
feel so old.
Yeah, it took about 2 minutes to download. Yes, so that was irritating. I have to say, I don't like the random battles. I hate that.
Staple JRPG thing. Yep.
Yeah, I can't stand the random battles.
Just wait until if you ever play Final Fantasy IX, because the random battles come thicker and faster in Final Fantasy IX than they ever did in 7.
I can't believe anybody actually enjoyed them. I can't believe that people that actually enjoyed.
I don't enjoy it when the rate is. Funnily enough, actually, 9 is my favourite Final Fantasy game, but the rate of random battles in it is ridiculous in comparison to 7. You do get quite a lot.
I mean, does anybody actually enjoy? I mean, did you enjoy random battles?
It depends.
Yeah.
If
the
you have
rate isn't
like
so high,
6 in a row
yeah,
with a gap of about 20 seconds,
you
or
walk
5
2
footsteps,
steps and you're in a battle. Yeah,
like,
so
I
that's
tend to
not
find
good.
the random battles. This is what I tend to find. They'd either be, okay, this is going to be an absolute cakewalk. I'm going to walk over this in 30 seconds, but I'm going to have to waste 30 seconds killing the things, but it won't take me very long. B, okay, I'm going to beat these guys. It may take me a little while, but I will beat them, and that's just a slog. Or C, oh dear God, what am I going to do now? I really don't want to, and I do not want to face another one of X, Y, Z. And all of a sudden, oh look, there's X, Y, Z again. Yay.
the things you've just killed are back.
Yeah.
I'm in the desert. What's this big ray? Oh,
I
shit.
did get attacked by a house once. That was quite amusing. I was just
Well, that
walking
was
through.
Sector 7 slums. isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Attacked
it's like,
like
I got attacked by a house.
There are some weird enemies in Final
It
Fantasy.
was. It's like, okay,
I
first was
remember
the
those weird things with long arms on motorbikes. That were
Yeah.
amazing.
first was the house is there, and you think, oh, it's a house, and then all of a sudden it stands up and starts throwing things at you. It's like very, very bizarre. Oh, and there's these horrible spidery things in these caves I've just been in. I'm up to the.
Do you? I don't know. Have you been? If you've got Vincent, you must have been to the mansion. You've been.
I'm
to
now
the-
about to leave
to
the mansion. I'm now about to
the
leave
enemies
it.
in there that particularly made me laugh were the Siamese zombies, Yin and Yang.
I've not come across them.
They're mildly amusing. They change their attacks depending on which head you're fighting, and they come out with weird things like little lines will come across the screen that'll say Yin is happy or Yan is excited. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I'm facing the two-headed zombie that's getting happy and excited about fighting me.
I met a pair of scales that attacked me that kept doing this every time I attacked it, and it took me a while to figure out how to do that. That was a bit annoying. Are you eating up our bandwidth?
Yeah.
Good.
It's my bandwidth. I'll do what the hell ever I want.
So, hi guys, how do I upgrade my something RAM? I don't know.
You don't, you buy another one.
Yes, Buy another one. Thank you. Thanks for your feedback.
I'm surprised you didn't make like a farm reference when Ram came up. Like,
Yeah, go to a livestock market. Make sure you take plenty
get
of
yourself
money.
a new goat.
Yeah, goat. Goat. Where did you learn? Where were you learned?
I didn't.
Where were you learned, boy?
Sheep, Nick. Sheep.
Thank you.
Your favourite animal.
Thank you, Philistine.
To get back to the game before I start swearing at you,
Didn't take
boy.
long, did it? I was saying, how many times can I test Nick?
So Final Fantasy VII, where are we now?
You were talking about a set of scales and a house.
A set of scales and a house. I must admit, I did get to a point where I nearly stopped playing it. And I reached this place called Gold Saucer.
Yeah.
And I have to say...
It's North Coral, right? You go
North Coral, yeah. And, oh my God, it's a biz. I hated it. I hated it since I walked in there. I hated the mood, I hated the tree. It just completely broke with the whole atmosphere of the game. And then, it was all fine. I wasn't too bad. And then I walked into this bit, and this big white cat robot thing walks up to me, called Cat Sif, whatever his name is. That's the one. Walks up to me and joins my bloody party, and I thought, oh God, I don't want the comedy cat character in my party. How do I delete him? How do I kick him from my party?
How do I delete them?
There must be a way to hack it and delete him game. If anyone knows, please tell me. But oh, that nearly made me stop playing the game. I nearly couldn't.
Wait until you see
no spoilers.
The series that they did. There's no spoilers. There's a film that they did of Final Fantasy. What was it called? Advent Children. And the cat has a Scottish accent.
What?
I've never seen the dub.
Apparently, the Kate Sith is a Scottish legend, like Scottish myth.
Of a big cat with a small cat riding a megaphone.
They called this little tiny Japanese cat Kate Sith after that mythological
It's not very tiny.
character.
It's one of the biggest ones in the whole bloody party.
No, the little dude on top. I mean,
no.
Because Kate Sith is the little dude on top of the big thing with the megaphone. The big thing is just called Mog. It's just a
robot.
giant robot thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All I know is I don't know anything about this because I never have him in my party, so he never pops out.
If you had him in your party when you fight, you'd see that there's a little cat standing on top.
I only had him in party when I was forced to have him in my party. So all I have in my party now is I have myself, obviously, because I've got a choice in that matter. Red 13.
By myself, he means Cloud.
Cloud, yeah. Red 13 and Ares. What are you laughing for?
No comment.
No,
you keep doing this.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. You level her up to the max, mate.
We won't tell you about the secret weapon she gets.
Yeah.
Why am I suspicious?
She gets a really, really good limit break.
Yeah.
Does she?
No, she really does.
So I need to keep working on her. She's quite useful as a healer.
So every other bloody character.
I've given
her
her
materia system.
She's got all my materia, every single one. I've given it to her.
She's got all of it.
All of it. Like, have everything.
Bitch, look after my materia.
Pretty much, yeah.
See these magical. Yeah, take my ball.
My magic glass balls. That's a gate again. There's no manual. I have no idea what I'm doing half the time.
There was a wonderful tutorial at this time.
No, it's a terrible tutorial. It's a tutorial that tells you, like, push these two buttons. The trouble is, I appreciate it's an old game.
The proper tutorial is in that building, isn't it? When you get back to the 7 there's a little building you can go into and they
I appreciate it, but it tells you how to do the play. But the trouble is, also the key commands, it just tells you the name of the key commands.
Like action or...
Yes, but I can't remember what keys I assigned to which buttons. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, to run away from a fight, you push these two buttons. I thought, which two are they?
The joys of being a PC.
I'm just sat there looking at my keyboard thinking, there's 101 keys here. 2 of them will get me out of this situation, but which 2?
That's the joys, like 1997 RPG.
They're the 2 that get you out of that situation.
Yeah, those lose me the game. There's a bug where if you're pushing the down arrow at the one point during the fight on your keyboard, it gets stuck going down, and it's just constantly going down because you're like.
Just treat it as a new game. Final Fantasy Roulette.
The trouble is, do you know how hard it is to save your bloody game when that's happening? You're seeing every mouse in the turn bar and just have a timer and hit it right, just and then it's time to save it.
Yeah,
and then you load your game, it's doing it still, and you're like, shit.
Yeah. Do you want to quit? No, I don't want to quit. I want to save.
Face roll your keyboard.
Pretty much, yeah. No, you have to save and then come back and go in again. So.
But you're enjoying it so far.
I'm
yeah?
loving it.
You are.
I'm terrified of the fun. I'm 30 hours in. Lucas told me I'm not even halfway through the first section
Oh,
yet.
it was
No,
the
you're
first
not.
disc.
No.
Yeah, first disc.
How many discs are there?
3.
I'm not even halfway through the first. I'm 30 hours in, not
Although
even
I think
halfway
disc
through.
3 is like a lot shorter than the other two, isn't it? As I
Yeah,
recall.
for the most part, because that's when the world starts to open up a lot more.
Yeah.
Like you can go and do all the other
Yeah,
stuff.
like you were saying about it being linear. Later on, you can do loads of stuff. You can explore to your heart's
Because you
content.
actually, you get the ability to free run like everywhere.
But is that something like 80 hours into the game?
Yeah, probably.
Well, not really. It's just because you're dawdling.
But I remember the game being touted as being.
I'm dawdling.
120
I
hours
thought I was
long.
going
That's a
through it
big
quite.
sum.
I thought I was going through it quite quickly.
Just no.
I'm not.
No.
Oh.
Keep going.
I also don't understand how to play.
Draw,
Yeah,
soul
keep
draw.
on leveling
Yeah.
up them characters.
I
You'll
will
get
do.
there. Keep
I
on
will do.
grinding.
I've got my little cat with a burning tail. It's great. It's great.
You love it.
I've got a
Have you
guy.
actually been to?
He was knocking me for
What's the last
mocking him
place
with the
you've
goat
been?
comment, and he just called Red 13 a cat.
He is a cat. I looked him up on the Final Fantasy Wikipedia. He is a cat.
He's like a weird cat dog
He-
hybrid
he's
creature,
a
I would have
cat.
said.
He's cattish-like.
Look,
What?
stop prattling about. Where's the last place you went?
I told you. I've just told you I was at the Sephiroth mansion with Vincent. I've told you that.
That's
already.
the last place.
That is where I'm up to. Yeah,
Just
I'm now about to
chilling
go.
in that
I'm
mansion.
now about to go.
So-
I'm now about to go find. Is it
He-
Sephiroth?
The thing is,
I
that
don't know. I'm now going to go follow him up
you
some,
can't
towards the
you
main
can't
character.
gauge
Oh,
where,
right,
you
the
can't actually
reactor.
gauge where he is because you can do that optionally, can't you? Vincent is an optional character. You don't
Yeah,
actually have to get him, even though most people do. So yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Yeah,
I just thought.
he's optional. You don't have to get him, but most
Yeah.
people do end up there at some point anyhow and get him.
Oh, that bloody safe. Oh, that was a nightmare. Took me
Good
ages
times.
to figure that out.
Oh yeah, you have to fight that two-tone boss, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, that was a nightmare. Some of the bosses are a nightmare.
Isn't it great?
Still. It's
You
good.
just wait. You just wait. There's bosses later that will have you tearing your hair out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. Right, Luke.
Hmm?
What
All
have you
right,
been
you're
playing?
finished.
I'm finished on my Final Fantasy rant. Final Fantasy,
Really?
good game, yeah.
I was hoping there'd be more.
I was gonna say. I thought.
Do you want us to carry on more?
We could
I can carry
discuss
on more.
More about Final Fantasy. I'm sure.
Okay. What would we discuss? I feel I've run out of topics.
I think we could possibly advise him to play other Final Fantasy games. That might be
Go on then.
useful.
Hit
What
me.
I definitely
Not
think you should
literally.
play. Tempting. I think you should definitely play Final Fantasy IX. That's one I would put on the list.
It's on Steam.
You've got a
No, it isn't.
PlayStation 3
You can get
in
Final
your house,
Fantasy 8
haven't
on
you?
Steam. 8
Oh,
is
I
on
don't want
Steam,
to
but
use it.
I don't want to have to go and use the
I was using
console.
a joypad.
Nah.
What was your silly joypad? A mouse and keyboard.
oh
Just
dear.
better. They're just better.
Well, clearly not playing Final Fantasy VII.
That's only because they didn't bother to program it so you can actually have the page down and page up key appear on the screen. They can add achievements to it. They can add bloody achievements to it. They can't add a thing that changes the page up and page down kind of thing. Or just at least a button which shows you can overlay the keys.
Boo.
Bad form, Square Enix. Bad form.
Oh, Square Enix have been on bad form for a lot worse things than that. Trust me.
Thief.
Considering the
Yeah,
PC
I'll never
version of
forgive
Final
you.
Fantasy VII came out, what?
Ages ago, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it was
It
like
launched-
absolutely moons ago.
yeah,
They
it was only a
released it
year or
recently,
two
though.
after Final Fantasy VII, wasn't it?
They
When you
re-
say they re-released
They
it, they
put it on
literally
Steam.
tacked on achievements and made a digital version of
Is
it.
it a
That's
new
it.
version of the game? Yes, it is. It's a re-release.
When they change a lot of stuff, then it's a new version. Tacking on achievements is just
To a lot of these game companies, that is a new version.
to a lot of gamers these days. That's why I'm shelling out more cash. That's not a new version.
Anyway, I like it.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII.
But yeah,
good.
yeah, well, you need to play some of the others, but maybe not through mouse and keyboard like you'd really
Yeah.
love to do.
Final Fantasy VIII's on there.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever did a PC version of 9.
No, I think
They didn't
8,
do 10, did they?
No, only 8 and 7, I think.
11 was on
10
PC.
is the other
that's
one I
right.
remember because my sister played 10.
8 is not my cup of tea. Some people really like, but yeah, I've never really much found it. Plays very differently to 7, doesn't it? And it had some. It's a bit more difficult than 7 as well. Just
easy.
but I'd say it's more difficult based on the way the system in it works, not being very good particularly.
Draw every chance you get.
Yeah.
Junction it all. Yes,
See, and that just bored me. It was like, Yeah, not my kind of game.
So, and every time you then use whatever it was
You
that you
could,
drew
you
up,
could
you
emulate
draw.
like the SNES ones probably, and play
Probably.
those. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you wanted, I meant he could emulate.
I think you can get
4.
Final Fantasy 3 and
Yeah.
4 on your phone as well.
Probably. There we go.
6 is worth playing. I really like 4, but you might find it a little bit lackluster because it is very basic, isn't it? Being one of the first SNES one, but I liked it. But 6 might be a good one. I think Nick might enjoy 6.
Maybe.
I'll bear that in mind.
I think your laptop's about to catch fire, mate.
You heard it before I changed the fan. That's like an aircraft taking off before I change the fan.
Awesomeness.
It is good. It's good ones when you have a third-party battery in it.
See, hopefully I'll be able to do some noise reduction on that and get that to go away. That's really quite offensive.
I can.
It's not as offensive as my PC, but
I can hear your PC easy and I can hear my laptop.
that thing's so bad. My PC's got.
Are you now happy with my debate of Final Fantasy? Are we allowed to move on?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
off
not?
you go then.
I hope you've got extras to the podcast because
Yeah,
my
because
part's going to
we're
be
going to
pretty.
lose.
Yeah, this is going to suck really hard. So recently, I heard of a game on PlayStation. I didn't even realize it existed. A Japan-only release called Gundam Breaker.
Those old Gundam games, they normally are Japan only, aren't they?
We've had a few.
Yeah, we got
Well, like Gundam
Remember that really cool one, the PS2 that you had?
Federation vs. Xeon.
Yeah, that was cool.
And they
I
made a
liked
couple
that.
other ones didn't they,
Yeah,
like that.
Feds vs. Xeon was very good.
That
Though.
was one of my favourites. That
Yes.
was a brilliant game. But and we had the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games and
Yeah,
stuff
we
like
got
that, which
those,
aren't
yeah.
they're not
I've
bad,
not
they're
played
not great.
them, but yeah.
If you've ever played Dynasty Warriors, imagine Dynasty Warriors with
Yeah.
massive robots, hundreds of random
I like
people that you
Dynasty
can
Warriors,
hack
but
up.
God, I dread to think how many hours I put into Dynasty Warriors 4.
I put in more than I'd like to
Yeah.
admit in Dynasty
How many
Warriors
characters
3.
I had fully leveled? Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
That was fun. Warriors 2. That was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
The grind on that.
Because it was like a fresh thing, wasn't it? The newest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering we call it Dynasty Warriors, it's not Dynasty Warriors
No,
over here,
it's
but
not, is it?
But either way, so Gundam Breaker, third-person giant robot fighting game, kind of like Dynasty Warriors.
Right.
You get placed on a big old map. I couldn't tell you anything about the story because it's in Japanese. I don't know.
Has
but-
it got like which era is it saying? Is it like China?
I have no idea because there's at the moment all I've seen is like kind of Gen 1 Zaku's and
stuff,
the
yeah.
kind of the earlier Gundam suits, and that like the prototype Gundam and that.
Yeah.
But then I have fought Gundams from another series, but on a giant roulette table.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
but exactly, but so it's all in Japanese. I
Right.
managed to get through the tutorial, even though it's all in Japanese. You just kind of, it'll say like press. You'll see like circle and triangle appear on screen. You're like, oh, okay, what does that do? So you start
And then the
pressing buttons.
Gundam explodes into
Yeah,
a million
pretty
pieces.
much.
It's like, oh, that's what
Here's
that
your
does.
evacuate button.
Yeah,
Oh.
like press
I love
that,
it.
you're dead.
I love that. There's somewhere there's going to be a little line that says, whatever you do, don't press this button.
And you're like, oh, hey, press that button.
And then there's Nick with it on the PC going, "There's 100 buttons on this keyboard."
Which one's a circle key?
I can't even see that symbol. What's going on?
I did play a game once that when you put on PC, for some reason it's hard to map it. It was a PlayStation port. And rather than just mapping those circle, square, triangle, and X to sort of sensible controls, they map circle to C, X to X, triangle to T, and square to S. Because that's what the letters started with.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
What?
I can't remember what it is. But it was
out.
really
Yeah.
it was. I will do. I thought it was a really shit port.
That's going to be flashback.
That will be a flashback. Really shit. That was really shit.
Even though the game's completely in Japanese, it's not actually that hard to figure out. Once you
Yeah, I mean,
once you
I've-
look
I've
at the
played
HUD.
a few games in Japanese and found that you do get the hang of it. I mean, even RPGs. And remember the amount of RPGs we emulated that were
Oh
Japanese.
god, yeah,
And
that was.
do you remember that Dragon Ball Z one that was in Japanese to begin with, and then we got an Americanized version?
Yeah.
But we were playing the Jap version. And
the
just,
part translate
Surely the
version.
point of an RPG, you only need storyline. If it's in Japanese, isn't
We
that a
didn't
little
care.
bit
Yeah,
tricky?
we just wanted
Look,
to-
we've got this obscure game
So
we can
basically,
play.
it's a hack and slash when you guys play it.
Yeah, pretty much. Just face roll
Doesn't
buttons
matter.
and-
All you got to do is hit attack over and over and over again.
Yeah,
and
like
you'll win.
it's kind of like Mystic Quest, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. What do we get? What was it called of him? Mystic Quest Legends or something like that? 'Cause
Yeah.
I think Mystic Quest was our Game Boy game. Literally just spamming one button to get through the battles. But the HUD's pretty well designed, so that kind of tells you what you've got to do. Like green is obviously your allies, red are the enemies, and then you
typical
generally
Dynasty
just
Warriors style.
yeah, just well, that's all I can really
Yeah.
compare it to. You get put on a map, you defeat certain things, you can pick up items, and then
objectives and
eventually it'll
stuff.
tell you to maybe move on to another section
Are there
of the map.
space levels?
I haven't got to any yet. I think I have gone to like some of the kind of...
Because the one on PS2 had space levels, didn't it? Yeah, it
where you
did.
could like fly about and stuff.
Yeah,
kind of.
Dion, yeah.
There are some that kind of take place on, I wouldn't say colonies, but like, I can't remember where
I know what
that
you
kind of
mean,
stuff is,
yeah.
like on the moon and that kind of stuff, or on like asteroids and stuff.
Yeah. Where Xeon's people generally
Yeah, basically,
lived.
but and then some battles take place on roulette tables, apparently. You know,
There must
that's
be bloody huge roulette tables.
Yeah.
I've got Gundams
that's
stomping
pretty
around on them.
hardcore.
Can you spin the two roulette table around with your guns or something?
Do you know what? I didn't try, but I might have to do that.
Yeah.
But there's
a little
there's
ball
a trick.
comes and knocks a Gundam over.
See, there is a trick to this game, and it's actually really kind of cool.
Okay.
So, you start off with a really crappy Fed suit, like one of the mass-produced Gundams, the really weak things, and you know how much I hate the Federation, so I instantly wanted to get like a Zaku or a Zaku
didn't
too.
we?
All the way. I mean, I've got my pendant hanging by the monitor that no one can see.
Char's custom Zaku every time.
Yeah, you actually get to fight that pretty early
Oh,
on,
that's pretty
and so one of the
Oh, you
coolest
still
things
like
about
the
the game.
blue ones in Feds vs. Xeon that had the axes. They were cool.
I can't remember what they were called now. So I know you had the Doms, which were the purple ones with the rocket launchers.
Yeah.
And then...
You had those weird underwater ones, didn't you?
Yeah. For the life of me, I can't remember what they were called, because they had, like, sabers as well.
Yeah.
Either way, the cool part about the game is that you can actually, say, like, you could hack off your opponent's legs.
Right.
Or take their head clean off with, like, a beam cannon or whatever, and then you can go and pick up that part,
Oh, okay.
and then refine it using, like, credits or points or whatever
Stick
it is
on
that you
your
unlock,
Gundam.
and then you can use it. So you can actually completely rebuild your suit,
That's pretty cool.
and then you can unlock different kind of special skills and things like that, which
I just
you
love to
can
make a
then tie on.
Frankenstein Gundam made of all bits of other Gundams.
You can make some
That
pretty
is
dodgy
awesome.
looking ones. I haven't got that far into the game to actually kind of do anything completely
Yeah.
crazy yet. But I mean, I think I've seen like it goes all the way up to Wing, I think, because I have seen
Okay.
screenshots of people like Death and that from the movies.
Heavy arms and whatever they were called.
So I think it's got a lot of different suits in it, and it does have an online mode on it. So I guess you could get together with your mates and rush enemies. I don't know if it's like deathmatch or anything. Again, I can't read it, but
Yeah.
really, really fun game. Really
Cool.
addictive, even though I can't read a
We'll
damn
just hope
word
it
of it.
comes over here.
Hopefully,
Fingers
it is
crossed.
on the Vita as well, so it's PS3
Nice.
and Vita. Yeah, it's a really cool
I'll
game.
pick
Well
it up
worth
if it
picking up.
comes out on the Vita. Definitely.
How does it compare to, say, something like Mech Warrior? Is it?
If unlike
Oh
Mech
god,
Warrior,
no.
you can't
Yeah,
compare it.
no.
No, there's no way in hell you can
Western
compare it.
robot games and Japanese robot games are a world apart. Yeah.
Oh.
Whereas Mech Warrior tries to kind of be more realistic.
It's more of a sim, isn't
I
it?
love
to,
Mech Warrior.
to near future technology. Japanese mechs are always like way out there, aren't
Yeah,
they?
like so in Mech
far
Warrior,
future.
it's slower. You
Yeah.
have to take a bit more.
We're talking
It's
about,
actually like driving a proper piece of machinery.
we're talking about
Yeah.
robots who could have sword fighting.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like proper duels and things.
Oh, It's more like someone wearing a big suit
Yeah,
of
pretty
armor.
much.
Have you actually played Mech Warrior Online?
No, I refuse to.
It's online.
Yeah. I will not play other people.
You do great in a gaming tournament, Nick. I refuse to play with you.
I win
Well,
automatically
let's see.
by
Would I
default.
go to a gaming tournament because I've played up it? No. That would be a worth
We should,
listening
we
to.
should drag him to a video game arcade and get Nick on like fighting games.
Could you
and
imagine
stuff.
taking Nick to a
Be
convention?
brilliant,
It's not,
wouldn't
like
it?
we have to go to a convention one day so we can offend everyone, and Nick refuses to go in because there's other
I'm not
It
playing
was
with
already
you.
offense
I'm not playing with
people.
you. I'll go in with other people there. I'll go if they're playing games there. I will not play against them.
I was going to say like LAN party, and Nick just disconnects.
I bet it'd be great. You sit
I
there
will play LAN parties against people who I know
You're
well.
one of them people that play Street Fighter 2 in the arcade, and as soon as someone comes in and puts a quarter in and hits the other button, you should be like,
Nick rages and pulls the
I
camera
was on
back.
M. Bison, damn you.
That would annoy me actually. 'Cause
Choice of arcades.
if you're playing the game there, you've put your money in. You want to spend it playing it with yourself. Well, somebody else.
I'll pay my money, I'm playing with myself now.
I want somebody else to come in and want to play with me.
Oh dear.
What? Don't you?
You've been invited to play Final Fantasy.
Have I? By whom?
Go on, Nick, just keep up with the comments.
Yeah.
I've been crying about people playing games with you.
Oh God.
Being offended that somebody else is waggling a joystick in your general direction.
I've just seen somebody just commented on there.
Well, that's the cool thing, because the comment is going to get saved.
Yeah. Oh, can I delete them?
No.
Excellent.
I'm not going to let you.
I want you to read them out because, like, I can't see them from here.
No, don't read them
without
out, Luke.
specs on.
Don't read them out.
Either way, he's been invited to go and play Final Fantasy on a
Is
console.
that all he's been invited to do?
Yes. I'd hope so, considering who's invited him.
Oh dear.
Oh, good.
Oh dear.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to stand up shortly and look, or the laptop will have to be moved.
We'll have to move and you'll hear
Yeah.
this like fan go across the table.
Well, they can see it go across the table. Good on video.
No, but I mean, like, there's an audio version. I hate it when people say that's one of my pet peeves of podcast. And when there's someone doing it, when they do a video version and they're gonna put up it's primarily an audio thing.
Yeah.
Look, oh yeah, look at this, and they'll show one of the other hosts or something, or they'll point at a webcam. Look at this. It's like the guys on the audio version can't see what you're showing people.
Yeah.
Tell them about
Just
it.
put pictures in the show notes. And tell them to print them off before you have the audio.
Yeah, just like
Have this little pamphlet
might
ready
have
for you.
blind
Please
people,
turn to
you
page
know,
6 in
listening.
your pamphlets to look at the photos.
that reminds me when Apple
But
actually
Nick,
came
what
up
if
with the
they're
interactive.
blind?
We'll do a Braille
I have
version.
to stand up.
Reminds me when Apple did the interactive podcast.
Yeah.
So like you could actually put links in the podcast, and as people would listen to it, if they listened to it in iTunes,
Yeah.
it would end up like it would open up a browser window or something like that, and people could see it, so you could embed pictures and stuff. Oh man, that'd be
Those
a
are
great
good
troll.
comments. Those are good
Yeah.
comments.
I know. Slightly embarrassing comments as well.
That's rad. That's so cool. Trolled, son. Trolled.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
Dear. So, Gundam.
I think it's a brilliant game. It'll be well worth the money. I'm glad I've managed to get a copy of it. I don't care if it's in Japanese. I don't care if I can't play it online. I get to pilot a giant robot, hack people's heads off, collect them, mount them on my wall, never use them because my suit is amazing.
That seems very wasteful. Can you not send them for scrap?
Nah, I'm just going to keep them, just hang them on my wall.
That's very inefficient.
Trophies.
Oh, you actually get to walk around the hangar as well as your little pilot as well.
Oh right, that's
It's
cool.
it's
Can
quite
you
cool.
like? Do you play as a specific character, or is it?
No,
like
it's just you are just generic.
How would he? How would he know?
Because I'm wearing a helmet.
Yeah,
so-
whether you're like a character.
You
from
might be the same
series or-
character.
Well, I know that you actually have companion characters.
Can you
so,
choose what side you're on? Can you be Feds or Xeon?
No. You can use Federals on suits. You just build them. You just hack the bits off them.
Well, I
So
expect you're fighting for the Federation then.
I have no idea, man. Look, I don't care who the hell I'm fighting for. Right now, I'm using a cross between a Zaku 2 and a Dom. I'm carrying around a massive sword.
That's so very mercenary of you. I don't care who I'm fighting for. I'm just killing shit.
I don't give a damn. They're talking squiggle writing to me. I don't know what they're saying. They could be talking moon to me.
Oh dear.
There's giant robots coming at me.
He's not allowed to swear, but he can say squiggle writing.
Yeah.
Look, if you'd let me swear, this would be a lot. This would be a lot easier. Trolls. But yeah, good game. Pick it up.
Fair enough.
Someone try the Vita version. I want to know if it's actually exactly the same.
I'm not doing
Can
that.
you edit like what your Gundam looks like? Not just parts, but
You can
give him a
change
paint job. And
Yeah, you
stuff.
can give it all paint. Look,
That's pretty cool.
I turned mine.
Custom
I gave mine a
North
most.
Korean flag paint job Gundam. Oh yes.
Reminded me of
What in a
Crime
Japanese game? North Korean flag Gundam in a Japanese game.
It's their
It's
problem.
editable. We can make it.
If
Yeah,
they'd
that's
have pulled a
right.
Nintendo and locked everything down, not a problem. But they didn't. It's so tough. It's almost as bad as like Fantasy Style when all of a sudden you log on and you see like the little emoticons and
Yeah.
like wangs and stuff like that all over the screen. It's like, oh my god.
Nice.
Look, you pretty much like make bets. Like, how long can I play the game? Be sat in a lobby waiting for a party before there's someone's rack appear on screen or a ginormous E-wang.
Why were they even in there?
Because people would
This
just
is why
they'd
Nick
make them
doesn't
out of
play
little
games
graphics.
online.
Oh, right,
They'd just,
okay.
like, make them out
I
of
thought
little...
that. What you said? I thought you meant they were defaults.
No, there's like there you go. That is practically Call of Duty gaming right now. Though. Like, there is like there already is a taunt of just a wang, and then just automatically teabags.
That's going to become future DLC for you, isn't it? Pay for these rude emoticons.
Come from us right now. We've said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you owe us money because I know
I've
you're
got
the first to do
I've
it.
got a few emoticons and I'm Steam now.
Oh yeah, because Steam now does cards.
Train, yeah.
You can unlock emoticons, can't you?
Yeah, I've got these trading cards. I've got these coupons. None of which I actually want to use.
A few people actually asked if they could buy my account.
Using them is
so
really...
they could sell, so they could sell all my.
You've
my
got
cards
nothing.
and
They've
stuff.
got nothing in your account. Look at your inventory. You've got nothing in there.
Yeah, no, because I
Well,
don't
the
play any
cards
of my
don't
game.
net you much. You get like about 2p per card or something.
No, you
No.
get about 8 or 9 pence.
Well, I found out why they actually wanted my account, because the person that asked me actually sold their account a couple of weeks later. So they were actually planning on selling my account because I've got like 300 games that I never play.
Oh, okay.
I'm still buying.
Sure,
games
that's
still
against Steve's terms. Of
It
service.
is against Steam's terms of service, but they do it anyway. So I didn't say anything.
No.
Feel free to ban me if you want, because I don't play the damn thing.
Well, no, you didn't say okay. You haven't done anything wrong.
I
Yeah.
might have done twice. Same account.
Couldn't just do it wrong once, could
What?
you?
Have
God.
you sold your account multiple times? That's all like con man.
Yeah.
Like the man who sold the Eiffel Tower.
Look at me. I'd sell you the moon if I thought I'd get away with it.
I think most people would.
How
Would
much?
you like to buy it?
Yeah, how much you want for it?
Well, you're gonna have to go and talk to my mate Kim, but
Can I have a look? Can I have a look round it first?
well, I'll have to take you up there in my
They
giant
haven't-
robot suit.
Don't tell me they've done a moon lander video. If they have, oh, great.
Uh,
We were there first.
Could you imagine
actually, in
that?
their own history, they probably were.
This totally not photoshopped picture proves that we were there first.
Yeah, it's like Kim standing there, thumbs up.
There's an irony there when you think of what some people consider about the actual
Troll
moon
face
landing.
badge.
Yeah. Oh dear, leader.
Not saying a word.
That's not right. We can't get banned for that, surely.
We'll see.
Oh, Bertie B. Rancis is Steam on Mac. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah.
Steampowered.com.
Although
How long has it been on
it's
Mac?
quite a while.
Oh, quite a while.
Um,
And in fact, for most games, if it's a Mac version of the game, when
They
you
give
buy,
that
you
to
get
you.
both.
so if you buy the
Oh.
PC version, same with if you
Oh,
buy
that's
a game
pretty
that's
cool.
on Linux as well, because Steam is now.
So all Grand Theft,
Console-wise,
most of
it'd be like
Grand Theft
your
Autos, all Grand Theft Autos, I've got both Mac and Steam versions as well.
Alright.
Mac and Steam.
I meant Mac and PC
Because they
versions.
hang on a minute, what?
Mac
and they're
and
giving it to
Windows.
you outside
Mac-
of Steam?
yeah.
Here you go.
Right,
have it on Origin.
if
no
you
one
bought
uses
Portal
that.
2 on the disk, you got the Steam
Have it
version.
on Uplay.
Oh dear.
Can you imagine that Portal 2 on Uplay? That'd be
That'd be weird.
Yeah, like, hey, look, Valve
What?
is giving away their,
Oh, no,
their
but
game.
you launch Portal through Steam, which then launches Uplay, which then launches Portal through Steam again. You get this infinite loop, which would be very Portal-esque.
Could you imagine like, there's like a massive memory leak blue screen every time you try and play Portal? Well, that's how it works. It's an infinite loop.
That'd be appropriate.
God damn. Wait,
Perfect.
what's going on?
I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
we
We talk about Gundam.
no, I was actually thinking there aren't really that many games on Steam for Mac, and
There's more than you think, actually.
I think Duke Nukem Forever's there.
He's alright. They've probably got fans.
Wow,
in there, haven't
that's the reason to get Steam for Mac. Duke Nukem Forever.
You say that, but I quite enjoyed that game.
they? Oh dear.
Well, I'm a fan of Duke Nukem. But seriously, if you look at Duke Nukem and compare it to a modern shooter, then you go, oh, it sucks. But you have to think Duke Nukem came from a time when, it's all
That's
dick and
fine,
fart jokes.
but Nukem Forever didn't come from that time.
No, but it's still, Duke Nukem still lives in that
I just
time.
sort of thought, God, that's
You honestly
absurd.
expect the character to mature?
I don't know if it's the character so much as the actual game itself. They could have done more with it.
There was nothing wrong with the game.
Yeah, but
It was a Duke Nukem game. What did you expect?
I just
Dick and fart jokes everywhere,
I might-
prostitutes everywhere.
perhaps when I was 13, I might have found that amusing. But
Oh dear,
as
here we
27, I don't find that amusing anymore.
Nick, you didn't find it amusing way back when either.
No, I probably didn't. To be fair, no, I didn't actually. I would have found that immature then.
Shake it, baby. I love that something I had to go back to on Duke Nukem being the N64 version, and they're like, no, we're not having any sexy jokes or anything like that in it, but here's more gore and dead bodies.
That's fine,
and,
I'm
like,
happy with that.
mangled
No, I
I
corpses.
love that, like the spines were just
violence
hanging
all
everywhere.
over the place.
That's
but
fine.
yeah.
No, I can live with that.
We'll cut the sex out and we'll just put all this violence in it.
That's fine by me.
Kids like
Change
violence.
half of the weapons and
Yeah.
that. Actually, that was a mix of Duke Nukem 3D and Duke Nukem Atomic in the.
Oh,
The
well,
thing is, when they go too
I
violent,
remember the
actually,
N64 version of Doom being really quite violent as well.
Oh, I didn't.
that doesn't worry me if it's violent, because the thing is, when they go too violent, those old school games just look stupid, like Soldier of Fortune.
Oh god,
It's-
yeah, that was way over the top, wasn't
it's
it?
fine, it was so
But Soldier
comical.
of Fortune was a great game.
It was all right game.
I really
He's-
liked Soldier of
He went
Fortune.
through and he's all just comedy, which is so stupid. It was just over the top gory. It was just silly, and that's why it was all right. It's a bit like when you watch cinema and you see some really gory films, they just look stupid, like Gladiator. That's so over the top gory.
Or,
it just
well,
looks
like
silly.
300, that'd be like the...
I've not seen 300,
Oh, well, that's way over the top.
and it just doesn't look. It just doesn't let you tell you some graphics. It doesn't look real. Do you know what I mean?
So I just completely zoned out. What are you talking about?
Gore in films, and that if they're too overtly gory, it just doesn't look real. Therefore, it just doesn't do anything much. It's not like
I don't really care for
subtle
the
gore.
films that try to creep me out. Look, I know I'm going to rip out someone's eyeball. That's alright. Sounds like a Saturday night down the pub. So,
What sort of pubs do you go to?
Where
Not
you
the
go?
pubs I go to.
well, you go to the nice tame ones with open fires and
Yeah,
polished
seven
floors.
fires. You sit round. Have your glass of real ale.
I don't really know these guys. I don't even know how I got here.
I gave you a lift. That's how you got here.
Jesus Christ, that sounds even more foreboding.
I would give you a lift home as well.
Oh.
The plot thickens.
You've been asked opinions on Lego Lord of the Rings. Have you played any of the Lego series of games?
I've not played any of the Lego games. I've seen Lord of the Rings being played by the person actually asking the question.
Yes.
Um,
There's Lego Lord of the Rings and Lego
Lego
Hobbit.
Star
the Lego
Wars.
Hobbit is relatively new, isn't
That's
it?
new, yeah. Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Star Wars. You got Lego Harry Potter,
Lego Pirates.
Lego Indiana
Lego Pirates,
Jones.
Lego Jones. Isn't that really bad, Lego Jones?
I don't know. I don't play Lego.
Lego
That was the first
Batman.
one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is there just been a Lego game which is just about Lego? Or has it always
Yeah,
been?
Lego City Undercover.
And then there was earlier Lego games like Lego Island and that. What was the space mining one they had as well?
Having seen Lego Lord of the Rings played,
Lego.
they've took the they've just took the film's voice acting soundtrack, put it onto like, rather than just having sort of moot characters make funny sort of garbled noise every now and again. I don't think it works. I don't think when they've actually got the proper voice track overlaid, these Lego characters doesn't work because obviously they can't express the emotion properly, and so you'll get this guy with a very stiff-looking face sound like he's shouting. It just doesn't look right.
I think it's meant to be funny though, isn't it? It's
No, I don't
meant
find
to
it
be
funny. Actually, it
comedic,
just looks
that-
it just looks odd to me.
Nick,
Especially
it's
just
coming from the person that doesn't like Duke Nukem. Nick, get out of here. Seriously. You don't like Final
Well,
Fantasy?
it looks quite fun if you're obsessive with smashing things up and sort of repetitive action.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, you'll probably like it then.
Wait, but Lego Lord of the Rings, that's the old one. 'Cause
Yeah,
then
it
you've
came
got
out a
Lego...
couple of years ago, didn't it? Though I don't think they'd done it. Lego Lord of the Rings.
No, it
didn't
was
come
a
out
couple
with
of
the
years ago,
films,
because they made that for the Mac.
Did they?
Yeah, they actually put Lego Lord of the Rings on the Mac.
Huh.
So you can get it on the App Store.
On the apps? Wow.
And probably on Steam as well.
I was on Steam, I might look at it.
See?
Yes, it's on Steam.
Do it!
It's been on sale a few times on Steam as well.
Because that'd be pretty cool.
It'll probably go on
I've played a
sale
couple
again.
of the
I
Lego
think
games.
when
They're quite fun.
has the Hobbit
They look quite
actually come out on Steam? Because when that comes
I don't
out
know
on
if it's
Steam,
on
if it
Steam
hasn't, that'll probably mean that Lord of the Rings will be put down in price for a bit. So
I'd have thought so.
I mean, they are usually quite fun games.
I don't know. I've
They seem
never really played
They seem
them, to be
quite fun.
honest.
Although it seems to be one of those games where you have to go back to every area and re-explore and unlock things, and I find that a bit too repetitive. That's why I never like platformers really that much, because you just sort of, okay, I go around now, I've got to go back and find 10 golden frogs or something, and
Right.
or golden whatevers, or silver or platinum peaches, I don't know. I just think that it doesn't appeal to
Okay.
me.
Whatever. Whatever.
At least the comments have given us a new subject to talk
They
about,
have.
considering that the
Unfortunately,
show
yeah.
notes are a bit
Yeah, seriously.
lackluster.
They're a bit on the ground. Oh shit.
Like,
Normally this is 8 pages long.
normally.
Yeah.
That's only like 3 things.
We've just been lazy this last few
Yeah.
month or so.
Anything else?
No.
No, good.
No, good. Go away.
Good night is all I'm going to say to that.
And
Have a good night.
Duke Nukem Time to Kill is amazing. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that was
What's
good.
the-
That was
what's
the
that one?
PlayStation one, wasn't it? The third-person PlayStation one.
I don't know.
Because you had Time to Kill and 0 Hour, and 0 Hour was the 64 one, which
All
was
right.
also bloody good.
What one was Duke Nukem Manhattan? Project?
Manhattan Project's a 2D.
Oh, that was the side
yeah.
one, was it? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I was getting
whereas
confused then.
yeah, Time to Kill is the one where he had like a backpack on, and you sort of went.
Oh,
around
yeah,
in third
yeah, I
person.
remember that
It was a
one,
really good game. Yeah.
Because I keep on getting confused with the Kiloton collection as well, which was like
Oh, and
3D Caribbean,
yeah, and the snow one
Duke
as
It Out
well.
in DC, Atomic Winter,
Yeah.
no, Nuclear Winter, whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
I loved them games
They
so
were
much.
good.
Excellent.
I didn't like the Atomic Winter and the Caribbean one though. I just like
Duke
Classic.
Nukem Caribbean was
I
hilarious.
just like
on
classic
levels.
Duke.
How
That
do
good.
have there been? I thought it was only like 3.
Well, there was
They were expansions for 3D.
3D
really,
got a
weren't they?
ton of fan-made expansions that then got put on
Yeah.
discs,
Then
which are pretty cool.
yeah,
Ah.
the PlayStation one was Time to Kill. Then you got 0 Hour, which was the the N64 one. Then I think there's another one that came out on PlayStation. I think
You did get 3D on the PlayStation as well.
yeah. Then there was another one, a third one. Laptop there, Wikipedia.
That's likely to catch fire if you try and make it do anything other than look at comments.
It'll be fine.
I'd really rather not try, to be honest.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. That Duke Nukem was just such an awesome series.
Yeah, they were good games.
As long as you don't take Duke
then
Nukem
you
seriously.
should go back even further, and you got Duke Nukem 1 and 2, haven't you? Which
Yeah,
were
the
like
side-scrollers.
Side-scroller games.
Was
Yeah.
that Proton and because most of the time way back
They
when
were
it
like
came as
Amiga games as well, Nick.
yeah, it came out like
classic.
shareware, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You could get them on a lot of discs and stuff.
Well, we've been asked a question. How about Deus Ex on the PC? Yes, very good.
The first Deus Ex.
First Deus is very good. Invisible War.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
Second,
okay,
right,
just it's
or-
not a Deus Ex game. Deus Ex Human Revolution very good, and Deus Ex the 4, which I was recording a Let's Play of, unfortunately, disaster happened.
You screwed it up.
No, the audio screwed up.
Yeah, you screwed it up.
Unfortunately, there's no. You can't have one save game, which means I have to basically replay the game again to
Just
get
suck
to what I
it
want.
in then.
Yeah, so Deus Ex, you can currently get Deus Ex Director's Cut on Steam. Well worth getting because basically it's
It's like Human Revolution Director's
Human,
Cut or the
Human
original.
Revolution Director's Cut. There wasn't a Director's Cut. There's Game of the Year edition for original.
Okay.
Director's Cut on Steam. If you get that, there was like 2 Deus Ex Human Revolutions. There was the same one called Deus Ex Human Revolution: The Missing Link. Director's Cut basically integrates it all together, alters some story, alters some of the levels. That is the sort of definitive version to get now.
See,
if you are interested,
one
in
of the
Deus Ex, get
complaints
that.
I heard about that one, the later Deus Ex game, is that you can't properly stealth through the game. Like
Yeah,
you
you
have to
can.
fight bosses.
That's what the Director's Cut fixed.
Okay.
That's what the big change was. You could do stealth the entire game bar the bosses in the original one, but then the Director's Cut fixed it so it's now possible to do bosses stealthily
Oh, that's cool.
and take them out stealthily. I've not had a chance to sit down and play the Director's Cut yet to see how that actually develops in the game, so I don't know how it actually worked around it. I think you can like call
See, because I mean, I'm one of these few people that I kind of admire what Deus Ex tried to do. I know lots of people that love it, and people always advise me to play it, and I have played it, but I didn't really like it that much.
No, I didn't finish it.
But for me, that was more because I preferred System Shock 2, and like playing Deus Ex after playing System Shock, I was like, couldn't really get into it.
It is a very clunky game. You have a lot of flaws to see through. It's one of those games that, if you take it individually and look at each individual part of it, it's actually something's not very well designed.
Yeah.
But the storyline hit right note at the right time. So Cyberpunk, it was around the time when the Matrix was coming out.
Yeah.
It hit the right moment to get the storyline out there. It was a long game. The levels were massive. It was very Thief-like actually. It's one of the fondest
I think
games.
we had the discussion before that a lot of people got put off by the first one, didn't they? Because it was very open-ended.
The first bit, it's how can I describe the first bit? You're literally getting complete freedom right from the very start. Near enough, you're given like space to do it how you want. And it's not a lot of you actually how you go out.
Yeah.
But you can stealth it. You can go in through the door. You really can tackle it any way. You can just go in as a full-on gun toting. The thing about it is, very start, you are a terrible shot. You're terrible at everything. I mean, absolutely horrendous. So if you want to go on guns, you actually can't really.
Yeah.
And so it forced you to go stealthy, which you weren't very good at either. So it possibly had its little sort of RPG curve as well, because it's an RPG in a way, slightly too steep initially, which I think put a lot of people
It
off
had
that first
RPG
mission.
elements, didn't
But
it?
if you stuck with it, once you got on a couple hours in, you got hooked in it, and it's one of those games that you would start playing in the morning, you'd still be playing 2 days later without saying sleep until you basically collapse at your desk in a strong stupor. But yeah, good game. Game is on Steam as well. If you haven't played the original, I definitely recommend getting the original. It is a good sort of evening game. It's a bit of classic cyberpunk fiction.
Cool.
Good stuff, I guess. I'll probably never finish it.
No, I played a fair way through it, but I don't know. My experience with Cyberpunk is a bit different, and I couldn't really get into it so much. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see where people thought it might have been.
It is a good
but
game.
just
I'd
didn't.
never knock it and say it's a bad game. It's just it was never really my cup of tea.
No.
Maybe one day.
Maybe.
Maybe one day we'll stream it.
I have to admit,
Just
I'm
for
quite
laughs.
fond of Japanese cyberpunk stuff like Cyber City
I'll
Radio and things like that.
I'll be up doing a stream of the original Deus Ex.
That'd be kind of funny then to have like all three of us all just sit together and try and get through the game.
I've got it on Steam, so I'm happy to stream Deus Ex. I think that'd be quite cool.
That'd be hilarious.
We can. I can see us having an argument how we're going about it. I'd be saying, "Well, I'm going to go around the back stuff," and you'd be going, "No, get your shout, kill him,
What kind of wuss is going to sneak around?
It's fun sneaking around because it's more of a challenge. It's a challenging.
I have to admit, I prefer sneaking just from playing Thief. That would be quite fun to be sneaking.
It is very. You swear I'm made by the same people when you play it. Systems, it's very Thief-like. The AI is dumb in it. It is a case of where did he go? You crawled and fainted in front of him. Where did he go? I don't know. Okay, then back to work.
So we're going to play through Thief as well? Not the new one.
No, the original Thief.
Anyway.
Yes, that would take a very long time.
Yeah. I think if we're going to do a Thief game, we should do the Metal Age.
Yes, I would agree.
Because it's the peak of the series. It's the best game. And it's like, we'd have more to talk about. The story's very involved.
It's a very good story.
Then you can maybe tell me why
and
the
we
game
can
is
laugh
so great.
at Karis's silly voice where he sounds like Droopy.
And all the machines. I should hear the joys of Karis.
And
the joys of Karis.
All those jokes from Benny, good old Benny.
Drunk guards.
Yeah.
You can't meet the old drunk guards.
There we go. Good stuff. That's kind of cool. I don't see because I never finished any of the Thief games either. I've got them, just I never finished them.
They're enjoyable games, but I would say go through number 2 first because number 1's a fair bit harder than number 2. Number 2 eases you a bit more.
Number 1 actually forced you at some points to be quite. You had to be quite actually hack and slash, which didn't suit the game at all.
And some of the monsters in it are hard.
A lot of people have told me that as soon as it gets to the point where, because
when
initially it
zombies
starts
and
out
giant
quite
spiders come into it, you're just like, shit.
Let's just turn this off now.
And then there's quite early on, I think it's the second or third level, you have to go to a prison in there. And the zombies, in Thief, if you slash them and hack them, they don't actually die. They just cut to the ground. They come back up.
Yeah.
There's only 2 ways to kill them.
Water arrows.
No. Yes and no. Water arrows, if they've been blessed,
Holy water arrows,
you have to go and get them blessed, and they only last for 30 seconds once they're blessed, and then you have to go back and shoot them. Fire arrows will blow them up.
Oh, okay.
So it is actually quite tricky. Interesting though, the hammer haunts, which is like the hammerite things, you can kill.
Yeah. Even though they're a damn sight scarier than the zombies.
Oh, they're horrible because you see this. They all sort of like in chainmails. You just hear them.
That level was great, and like when you're walking around, it's very atmospheric because they're talking to themselves and talking to you as well, aren't they? Like, I'm going to find you. And crap.
They are absolutely. It is very. Although I think if you want fear in a game, you have to play Thief, Deadly Shadows, the Cradle level.
See, I love the Cradle level. It's very atmospheric, but I didn't really find it overly scary.
Oh, it's psychological horror.
I could kind of tell when I was going through it that there was nothing in it. I'm like, it's building up to something, and there's not going to be any enemies here.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. But you know that something's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
But it's when it's going to happen, and when it actually.
I think the more disturbing aspects were when you find the things in the cells and you learn about what's been happening to the kids and stuff there, and you're like, yeah, nasty.
Yeah.
But level itself, really, I think it's overblown a bit in how people play it off as being the scariest thing in gaming.
To me, I would actually probably agree with them. I think it is one of the scariest things in gaming. I honestly, that level.
I think it's very good, very atmospheric.
It's the only level that's actually. It's very rare that a game makes me stop playing because I'm too scared. And Cradle, I did it twice to me. I actually stopped playing it twice because I was too scared to carry on. One time I first played it and I got into the atmosphere got to me because I was all up in the house by myself. The atmosphere got to me, I had to stop playing. The next night we'd gone out for me, I'd come back, it was about 8 o'clock, everybody was still up, so I thought, that's all right, I'll go on it now. I lost 10 minutes for it to come off again. Because a zombie jumped up at me in my face, and they're horrible zombies in that.
Only in that level, isn't it? Because they're the asylum zombies. Have got, like, the metal things.
Oh,
on
and
their
they
heads,
just jumped at me, and there was one.
And they move in stop motion, don't they?
Yeah, and it's it's terrifying. And the only thing they've done to me was Amnesia Machine for Pigs. So me stop playing it, but no, it's a very good level.
I don't think I've ever stopped playing a game for it being too scary.
We're listing off games now that we're just going to have to play through.
Yeah.
I'll set up the surround sound.
I'll probably do Deus Ex. Thief, I'll get someone else to because I've played it quite a lot recently, in like the original. So perhaps we get our least player of it to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be hilarious.
That will be.
And you're gonna hate it because I ain't gonna play a damn thing the way you want me to.
What's the challenge they have? The can't remember the name of it. The one where the thief you mustn't let any guards.
You put them up to high.
Yes, on the highest.
You're not allowed to kill anyone. Yeah.
No.
I don't think we should put it so he's not allowed to alert guards. Maybe so he's not allowed to kill them.
That would be hilarious.
Maybe if he's not allowed to kill them, and he has to blackjack them to take them out.
There is one level where you mustn't alert a single guard or set a single alarm. But I don't really like it. It's called casing the joint, and the level after is exactly the same, and literally it's the exact same level. But so like the first level you're casing your joint, the second level you actually go do the thief, which implies that the first level was what Garrett does all the time. He was casing it first, which sort of implies he does it in the you're there, you might as well steal it while you're there. So I thought that was sort of struck me a bit as artificial and a way of increasing the amount of levels in the game.
Padding it.
It felt like it. But there's a lot of challenge to it because you mustn't alert anybody, and that made you really properly play it. But there are a couple places you could learn to go. If you went there, you would escape basically everything. There's a bit you could get on top of like some wooden beams, and that was it. You could walk across the whole floor of the level and avoid everything.
Yeah.
But it's still a very good game. Proper stealth game.
My favourite. It's the best stealth game of all stealth games.
Yeah.
The only games that may come close to it, I would say, the Tenchu games, and they don't even come anywhere near close to it, but closer than any other stealth game.
Oh, we've had another comment. Silent Hill, Peaceful and Scary. Yeah, actually, I would agree with that.
I was going to say, didn't you like Silent Hill?
I love Silent Hill.
Silent Hill games are good, yeah.
I played up to Silent Hill 3, and
was it Silent Hill with the dude with the pyramid?
Yeah,
Silent
Pyramid Head is
Silent 2 is That was the best Silent Hill of the lot.
Was that PlayStation 2?
Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3, they're good games.
I didn't like Silent Hill as much as I prefer. If you would take the two games, I'd probably go 2 and 1.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry, 1 and 3.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
I'd go 2, 3, 1.
I didn't like 2 for the fact that you start the whole game with a proper machine. You start the game with a machine gun, only initially for a little bit. And I didn't like the fact that it felt more like a Resident Evil game, less like Silent Hill game. Silent Hill's always been very psychological horror.
Have you played the Room, Silent Hill 4?
No, but it's not a proper Silent Hill game. That was actually
I
separate.
know, it's meant to be something else, wasn't it?
We have got the HD collection.
But the Room is actually, it's a good game.
Another game let's play.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Room is worth playing as well, even though it's sort of not a proper Silent Hill game, but still a good game.
I like Silent Hill.
Yeah.
I've actually got the sound. I've had soundtracks to both Silent Hill games.
I was actually going to say because I can remember you actually having that on an iPod back in college.
Yeah, I used to like going out into when it was foggy outside. I'd go outside and play the soundtrack.
Nice.
I used to get I had one of these airband radios to all the cops and had static on it, but you could control the volume of it. And my sister used to be terrified of Silent Hill, and also the radio. So I used to sneak into her room at night and just gradually put the static up on the radio. Oh, that was hilarious. Fun times.
Yeah.
Just
remember, it's being saved.
That's fun. I've already told this story once before, so I'm safe.
Okay. Cool.
Right, so moving on to other news. We've talked about games.
Because we haven't got any...
We ain't got anything else really. We ain't got any T-Birds or Flashback stuff.
No tabletop stuff.
It's a bit of a bland month this.
I had ordered a Game of Thrones the card game to talk about. I was hoping to get it ages ago, but it's taken forever to be. So hopefully I'll be able to talk about that in the next podcast. The only thing tabletop wise I've really played that's new is Monty Python Flux, which is quite fun. Did I discuss Flux before?
I don't think so.
Very quick card game, very accessible card game. There's like hundreds of versions of it. Be a good game for us to play actually, because it takes about 10 minutes, 10-20 minutes, and it's very accessible. But the Monty Python version, obviously, it's just the same game, but with Monty Python flavour. But yeah, it's pretty good. And we got some expansions for Munchkin as well, which is one of my favourite games. Yeah, we got about 3 or 4 expansions for that give you new cards. Oh, excuse me, give you new cards and things, and that's pretty good. But other than that, nothing new really, tabletop-wise.
That's a shame.
Sadly.
No, so unfortunately, we're going to move straight on to other news.
It's cool.
Right.
So I'll put this in because a couple episodes back we discussed Games from Live shutting down, or the music was going to shut down. I think it's been all but confirmed.
Yeah, because things like you couldn't save in Dark Souls on PC and stuff like that. And
we're wondering what's going to happen, what developers are going to do. Well, out of fact, it's announced end of last month, and it's happening on May the 31st at GameSpy. It's showing down now.
God, that's old.
It is old. In actual fact, GameSpy, I have a soft spot for got me into proper actually when I used to do online gaming, that's what got me into it.
Yeah, because you used to have like chat clients and stuff.
Chat clients, you had all your games.
Using it for the Neverwinter Nights game. GameSpy,
yeah, I used to
it?
use it for Rainbow Six. I used to play Rainbow Six through GameSpy. So I love GameSpy. I have a soft spot for GameSpy. Admittedly, I know it's compared to, it sort of lost its way. It sort of got a bit clunky. It never really updated itself and sort of lost its way a bit. But a lot of games made use of GameSpy. Even quite recently made use of GameSpy. Well, GameSpy gets shut down on May the 31st. And so there's been a bit of hoo-ha about what happens to all these games.
Why is it being shut down?
Basically, a new CEO, GameSpy got took over by IGN back in 2000.
Right.
And GameSpy also was related to all the Planet sites, Planet Half-Life, Planet Quake, all those sites you had. Remember those, the Planet sites?
Yeah.
Yeah, Planet File, Planet, all that sort of stuff. And a new CEO took over of IGN and basically said, you know what, there's no point having all these satellite sites, let's just have one. And so basically Systematic started showing down all the other sites. He shut the actual GameSpy.com he shut down last year, and now the client is being shut down. So basically it's all being congregated into one place, but there won't be a GameSpy replacement. It is gone from there. They're not going to produce a GameSpy replacement.
Okay.
So it's sort of okay. Let's shut everything else down, which is a shame really, because I quite like it when you have everyone has their own little bit of internet rather than force them to go to one place. It's a very Microsoft tactic, in my opinion, of anyway. So
I was going to say I've not used the service in absolutely.
Nor have I.
Either.
Because most games I use tend to use Steam now, and most publishers are migrating to Steam, or if they're not, there's another one called Game Ranger.
Yeah, I remember. Wasn't that on the Mac? It was the Mac.
Yeah, it was as well. And basically that's a free client, and that will do the same job. So
yeah, it was, because that's how you had to play Rainbow Six 3 for the Mac online.
Yes. So if you have got games on GameSpy, don't be worried that you're going to lose them, because then even if they're not patched, Game Ranger should be able to handle nearly every one of them and be able to fit. So that's handy. So I'll put a link in the show notes for Game Ranger, as I most of them have seen. But it's interesting actually, because this is no example of what publishers will do, and it seems so far that most of them have actually been quite good, saying, okay, we'll fix them.
Who's dropping the ball in this?
Nintendo are shutting down all their Wi-Fi servers, which run on GameSpy.
Yeah, they were going to do that anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I will admit that is true.
Regardless of whether or not it was GameSpy or not, they were just shutting
but
down.
obviously, GameSpy probably hastened the.
Oh, for sure,
yeah.
for sure.
So far, all the matches I've made ones I've seen, some haven't commented, but people at EA, I'm amazed EA have actually said they're going to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, they said we're going to look at alternative arrangements.
Which means they're not really going to do anything. They're just kind of
trying to
stalling
avoid
here. They're
getting a
buying
golden
stuff.
turn award
Activision
again.
will migrate over to Steamworks. Most other companies, most of the biggies are actively moving over. My only concern is what about companies that possibly don't exist anymore? There must be games out. I've got a list somewhere. I might find out in a minute, but I've got a list up some. There must be companies and games out there which don't exist anymore. Their games are in limbo, as it were.
Could they not be patched by...
Well, that's what Game Range is going to come and take place, obviously.
Okay.
Game Range will take over ones that aren't patched, but so far it's been a positive response. So I'm hoping then when Games Winner Live shuts down, if the company's being good about these old games, which one people are patching all the way back to SWAT 2?
No.
They're actually patching. If they're going to do that, they've got a bit of hope that actually they will sort it out. So I'm a bit more relieved now that when Games Winner shut down, will be fine. Because Rockstar Social Club runs on GameSpy, so a lot of features of Rockstar Social Club will be gone. They've said actually
That's interesting.
they said basically that Social Club will not exist anymore.
Oh.
The game online bit will still work. But
All right.
the Social Club bit, which I never used anyway,
All I
won't
can
exist
remember
anymore.
using it for was in Red Dead Redemption to get like character outfits and stuff. I think that was it. That's all I ever remember.
That's gone. Well, perhaps I wonder if that sale then just release them as a patch.
Maybe.
You just download a whole lot as a patch and have them on there. So I mean, I want you guys to think about it. So far, I'm reasonably happy with how it's gone. Because I mean, last month when it first got announced, I thought, shit, how many games are we going to lose now?
Yeah.
But it seems people have got their.
So I'd have
actives.
thought a lot of that stuff would have been, considered kind of abandoned
I was
by
going
that
to say,
point. But
That's what I was
that
thinking.
ran on it. A lot of the, like the D&D servers that were made, they ran on GameSpy, but most of them are shut down anyway now. So, yeah, it wouldn't affect them.
Here's the thing, though, because I know we're talking about older games, games by Game Ranger and all that kind of stuff, but I have this horrible feeling that when Games for Windows Live goes down, and it's gone,
soon.
I have a feeling that someone's going to pull this really dick move and just abandon the games.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will. Someone will.
Which will hurt Dark Souls on the PC.
Yeah, I mean, they're more than happy to say, yep, we're going to patch some of the older games. But I just feel that a lot of this newer stuff is going to die so much earlier than it has to, just because...
Maybe. I mean, if the old ones, they could argue... I mean, I could understand... I'd semi-understand when the publisher said, you know, the old games, no one plays them anymore, hardly one plays them, so it's not worth us patching them. A new game, which lots of people still play... Sure, they'd be more inclined to patch.
Yeah, but look at how quickly games get dropped these days. And servers just disappear like that.
I suppose I would say the only thing about this is not much to brag about PC. This is one of the good things about PC, the fact that there are these options out there in forms of game and stuff that can replace these sort of problems and servers and stuff.
Yeah.
Whether they'll work game into taking over Games Windows Live, I don't know. Whether they can do that. Obviously, if you're a console, you're screwed.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I mean, has the Xbox Live marketplace now shut down completely? The 360 version that's still going.
I think I hope it's still going because there are still people buying 360s.
And obviously, the first one must have gone by now.
Oh yeah, gone.
Oh yeah.
Long time.
How many games died when the first one went down?
Well, I wouldn't say a great load because that was experimental then, wasn't it? The first Xbox Live. There weren't many games that used it. Halo 2 would have been the
not
big
as
one.
Deep as what they did now. And I mean, they carried on Halo 2 servers all the way up until the Xbox 360, and they actually made sure that they.
Yeah, Halo 2 was the only one that stands out in my mind. There weren't many games on original Xbox Live, nowhere near what there is on.
I mean, I used to play Wolfenstein a lot. But,
yeah.
I mean, I can't really think of many. Phantasy Star got shut down. Phantasy Star, even on the Xbox 360, like Universe got shut down. I'd say new games, but even like last gen console kind of stuff, it's all just been shut down.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. I don't care.
Yeah.
I remember seeing like them people talking about games that you can't even play the single player mode on because the game relied on having like an online.
Well, Crime Hounds was one that I remember quite fondly. That was a really fun mech game.
Right.
And the single player was just literally a training mode.
Yeah, I remember you saying about this.
Yeah.
They were like, oh yeah, well, let's flick the switch, it's gone. And now I've basically got a coaster. One of my favourite games is just a coaster.
Yeah.
So.
That sucks.
You can boot it up, go play online.
Buy PC, do PC gaming is the answer. This the moral story. Again, emulator.
Again, emulator.
I have to say,
that's one of the
PC
things.
gaming is the moral of the story. Let's emulate console games on it. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's emulate everything.
We emulate stuff better than the consoles do.
No, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. See, we're all right. Excellent.
I play both.
So we're not.
Yeah, me too.
So let's see what happens. I'm going to be interested to see what happens to. I'm going to wait till 31st of May. I'm going to boot up GTA 4 and see what happens.
You think 4 they'd let that go?
Social Club is in 4, so I want to see. I want to see if they patch out the Social Club bit. So I boot up. I want to be really interested if they patch up Games Windows Live at the same time. Because if I was one of these companies, and I Games Windows Live was dying, I'd do it in one hit.
Yeah.
Why patch up one now and then have to patch out the other one later?
Yeah.
Just patch the whole lot in one go now. I mean, Bethesda's already done, haven't they? Patched out some of the Games Windows Live stuff.
Don't know. I haven't played any of Bethesda stuff in like a decade.
They have Fallout 3. They've patched it out already, so they're getting rid of it. Hey, game for Windows.
Yeah, nobody likes Games for Windows Live.
No one ever did.
It's like Uplay. We all hate it.
Die.
Yeah,
That'll be
Uplay
next.
should be next to go.
That will be next.
Goodbye, Uplay.
Heard it here first. There was else I want to throw into that.
Yeah, go on.
No, I forgot. It's just when you started mentioning, emulators and you should play on PC. That's one thing I do love about PC is that you can set up private servers for things that have died or the official support is gone. You can set up an emulated, like you can set up like say WoW servers and stuff. You shouldn't. Because, but if you want to play Vanilla WoW, then you set up a Vanilla WoW server. If you wanted to play...
Which is nice, because Vanilla WoW was the only good WoW.
Yeah, Vanilla WoW and Burning Crusades, but I missed Burning Crusades, so I couldn't comment. And then there's stuff like
Has any MMO ever? I think some have. Some have they not? I've put in some of the Ultimas when they shut down their main servers, actually released the server code so people can set their own
I think
servers.
didn't the very first Ultima, because you can still play the very first Ultima online.
Yeah, I thought
somehow.
that did. And didn't
Good old
I'm
British.
trying to think something else here. But I mean, it'd be tempting if I was a company to say, okay, so I know people want to play, but why don't we release the server code or sell the server code at least? You know, perhaps say, because I mean, it's not worth them making money out of it anymore. I mean, like people like Star Wars Galaxies, which is very popular for a time.
I heard that game used to be brilliant and then got turned rubbish.
Yeah, they patched a few things and then it went downhill very, very quickly.
Yeah,
I can remember someone I went to college with really loved that game. I couldn't get into it, but
yeah, well, people that I knew were saying like if you play it now, you won't enjoy it. Like if you played it way back when, you would have loved it, but not now.
That was like Final Fantasy XI though, because
like I thought you in the original you had to earn your Jedi status. You couldn't just start as a Jedi. If you
it was also a secret as well. It was a secret actually how you got it.
I thought it was a random roll.
It was part of that as well, but you had to do certain things first to be eligible for the random roll to then get it. And it took something like 3 months before the first person actually got it.
Oh, nice.
And then everybody could play, I want to be a Jedi. And so they basically made Jedi class, and then everybody could be it, and basically it ruined the game because
everything was out of balance at that point.
That's kind of like with the whole DLC argument we had when it was like, and now you can unlock stuff as DLC that originally you would have just had to work your ass off in the game to get, which is way more rewarding.
Yeah, but people don't want to work anymore.
No.
I mean, in fairness, though, for people who don't have time to do it.
But then again, they can do it in time, can't they? We used to have to, like when we...
Yeah, but we also have tons of responsibility.
No, but I know people that did back then that would play the games and still unlock stuff, you know. Yeah, no excuse.
Yeah, fair enough. I still have private servers.
Private servers.
Yeah.
I still actually run a couple of private servers. I've got a Fantasy Star Online. The first one that Sega shut down. The Dreamcast, you can still run.
Oh yeah.
Dreamcast servers.
Dreamcast Online is great,
can run,
isn't it?
Do you know you can still play Quake 3 on the Dreamcast?
That's pretty cool.
Online. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So how the Dreamcast, was that a bit like a PC one where you create your own local server and then it just looks for it on the internet, or was it actually
there was
no central repository for them?
I think that was just like I think they had stuff like GameSpy kind of stuffs.
Yeah,
because obviously
so like it would say you connect to this server.
God, it's so long ago, I can't remember.
Because obviously Games Windows, there's a central place where your service all registers. That's why when it shuts down, you lose it all. Well, so Dreamcast mustn't use that. It must be more like a PC.
Well, it depends on the game. So randomly, if Dreamcast, but say GameCube, Fantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2, or part 1 and 2. If you had the broadband adapter and you were in the PAL region, you could literally just go in and change the server information and go. It would just log into another server. That it would ping the server, and it was like, oh hey, look, there's a server there, and you could log in. It wouldn't necessarily be the official Sega one, but you could do that. I think you could do something like that with the Dreamcast version. I'm not entirely sure. I could be completely out there, or you needed a Game Shark code or something like that to do it. But
good memories, Fantasy Star Online, the original. What a game!
I mean, I think there are actually kind of cross-platform servers as well for Fantasy Star Online, where because they had Fantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2 on PC, which was the same one that was on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And I think they actually made it so you could play, you could host one private server and have everyone on PC and Dreamcast versions on there, which is pretty nice. Cool. Sega didn't do it, but the community does. So, and people still run them. People still set them up. I mean, people still set up Ragnarok Online servers, even though it's free to play now. You can still set up your own server.
If we can still play Fantasy Star Online, that'd be a game I'd love to play.
Yeah, you can. Well, I mean, I think GameCube version is 4-player split screen. So.
All right. Can you have 4 tellies, like 4 consoles?
No, I don't think so. No, because you got things it doesn't have an Ethernet port. By default, you have to buy the LAN adapter.
That would have been good.
So, good stuff.
Yeah.
But I think in the case of Quake, you can actually input a server address. You actually put in, an IP address in.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
I don't think all games do it, but
that's the other thing that's worth mentioning about this GameSpy is if a game has a direct link to a server, you can bypass this GameSpy. So like the old Rainbow Sixes, you could put in a part IP address to a server and it just bypass everything.
Yeah, there are actually some console games like that actually when you can run kind of a, I'm probably going to say this really wrong, it's like a tunneling program, so you can actually say, I want to start a LAN game. and then you connect up to your PC, and then that would then tunnel through to someone else's Xbox that's kind of waiting to host a game. So you kind of you'd host like a server on your PC and connect that way. Because we used to play Halo 1 online through stuff like X-Link Kai. So you just tunnel from one system to the other one.
Yeah.
And just like type in the person's IP address, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah, cool.
Good.
I think they still do that with some of the more modern systems. I think actually the hacked Xbox 360 community still use stuff like X-Link Kai, because obviously you can't use Xbox Live because you've got a hacked system. So as long as the game has network support, like LAN support, then you can do that, which is pretty cool.
That is cool, yeah.
That's how we were going to play Resident Evil 6, because I can't go on Xbox Live. Curse you, Microsoft. I will not be buying any more of your hardware.
No, too right.
Perfect.
It's good.
Okay.
Right. Well, flashback.
This
is going to be a short podcast, though.
Yeah, very short.
Yeah. Compared to us, normally it takes about 3 hours to do a podcast.
Normally it takes 3 hours.
Mind you, going live, it's probably better that it's short, because people aren't going to want to sit for 3 hours and watch us talk shit.
Apparently,
somebody is.
Look, in fairness, this thing said that we can record for 8 hours solid. So one day I'm tempted to push my luck, just walk around the room.
Yeah.
Record 8 hours of you going utterly insane. Yeah.
What we do,
I'm losing my mind.
I just need to record 8 hours, just someone just standing here like this for 8 hours. But at some point randomly they'll do something. We won't tell them when. And if they get it right, they win a prize. One of your bandanas or something.
God damn it.
So we have watchers.
There you go, challenge accepted.
Achievement unlocked.
It's like we're going to have that ping up at some point. One day we will do a proper live stream rather than through Hangouts. I don't even know what this looks like.
It looks alright. We're watching it here as well.
Friday night well spent,
It's a bit slow, but that's probably because we're streaming simultaneously.
Yeah.
That's just Google Hangouts. I'm more worried about the audio though, but people haven't complained. The audio sucks.
Let us know if the audio's okay. There's also a delay, about a minute. But let us know if the audio's okay,
Yeah, yeah.
We'll find out in about 6 hours, adjust the levels, and it's all good.
Right, so we're now going to move on to flashback.
Flashback.
So flashback's where because we might have a new audience here. Flashback is where you get to, we would go back previous episodes and we pick up stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Usually where we've made horrible mistakes.
Pretty much. So. Luke.
Oh god, I've gone and completely forgot what I was talking about.
Alright, do you want me to do the hard ones?
Yeah, just remind me what it was I was supposed to be talking about.
Fanboys and being stupid.
That doesn't help, really.
Well, you read that. What you read these notes.
Yeah.
So you read that, and I'll do my own flashback. Okay.
Good.
So we talked about Metal Gear Solid 3 in the last podcast, and I wondered if it wasn't directed by Hideo Kojima.
Ah, right, yes.
And it turns out it was. So I was wrong. Back in episode 1 and 2, I talked about a game called Sir You're Being Hunted, which is a stealth game, very Thief-like actually stealth game.
Yep.
Really good. It's about you're sort of stuck in the British countryside being hunted by robots. Really good, really true British accent. Really good game. It's now been released, proper version. It's no longer an alpha, it's now proper version 1 is now released.
Has the price gone up?
Nope,
same price.
Same price.
That's
in actual
good.
fact,
We
it was
like
on
that.
Steam at 12 with a discount when it was released. They were discounted it on Steam.
Yeah, about $11.99, isn't it, or something?
$12.74.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even.
And
They're very precise there.
I want to say I made a really stupid error last podcast.
Oh, I love this one. This made me chuckle. Go on. I wanted to say it during the podcast as well. I'm surprised you didn't.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I got back.
Is this the 1984 mistake?
Yes. I thought, did I seriously say that? And every time I hear back to pause, I think, oh dear God.
But yes.
Audio good, English too fast. Oh, sorry, that's me probably. I said last podcast that 94 was written by Michael Orwell. Who I believe, wasn't he the guy who did the music for The Exorcist? I don't know. But, of course, actually written by George Orwell. I did know that.
That'll be flashback of the next episode. Who actually pointed this out to you?
I did when I listened to the cast again.
You were sat there banging against the table.
Why the hell did I say that? George Orwell wrote 1984.
You shouldn't say like Frank Butcher or something like
that. George Orwell wrote 1984.
Mike Rees.
Yeah. He wrote 1984. So, yeah. So, I'm sorry. It was my... I don't know. I blame tiredness.
Just say it was after midnight. That's normally when things start to fall apart.
Well, the thing is, after midnight, I can't use that excuse now because we're broadcasting live. They can prove it wasn't after midnight.
Just pretend.
Yeah, okay. It's after midnight. The final one is we talked about googling ourselves. And so I thought it'd be very good if I googled everybody and saw what they come up with. So Luke, I think this is somehow appropriate. Luke, you're an actor in Holby City.
Did I die?
I don't know. I just googled your name and read the first thing that came up. I didn't actually look into you, see if you're still alive. Adam,
Thanks.
you are a frontman lyricist for the indie punk band Caduzo Wish from North Carolina.
I have no idea who they are, but cool.
And I am a composer, organist, and harpsichordist, which I somehow think is very appropriate. I would like to do some character sheets now and have a Dungeons & Dragons game based on those characters.
Oh, Christ. How are you going to fit Holby City in?
You do realise, guys, I'm just going to be playing as a bard again,
Cleric.
like I always do.
Yeah, I'll be a cleric.
You'll be a cleric because you're a healer.
Yeah.
GG.
He's medic.
Actually, unfortunately for us, we'd both be bards because you're a lyricist and I'm a harpsichordist.
Oh god, so I'll be talking rubbish and you'll be playing rubbish. Great.
Yeah, we'll be alright. We'll be the best team ever. Just two and we both try to serenade the monsters to death. One being beaten up, Luke's healing us.
So every time you guys go to a pub, get completely destroyed by someone because you try and sing something to them to get a free drink, I have to pick you back up off the floor.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Kind of sounds like a regular time down the pub.
I was going to say, it does, yeah. Right, have you remembered what you've written now?
No.
This is the first D&D game I've ever would have played where we're playing as a drunken Irish folk band, which would be brilliant.
That'd be great, yeah. I'd love that. Top of the morning tier.
Oh.
That's Island offended now. We can add that to the list.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah,
there we go. Rad. No, it's just like last time we were talking about fanboys and the exclusives for the consoles.
Yes.
And like saying, oh, there's only like four games on the Xbox, and we were like, oh, what's the point, right? In fairness, I wouldn't sway anyone from, say, if they wanted an Xbox, I'd never say to them, like, don't buy an Xbox.
You wouldn't be like me when my friend bought an Xbox and I sat there and laughed at him for half an hour while he was
no,
playing.
all right, okay, that's not entirely true. It's the chap I know, a guy I know, really good bloke, and every time he mentions his Xbox One, I'm just like,
I was just sitting there while
he
was playing Killer Instinct, like, yeah.
But then he'll always
money well spent, mate. Money well spent.
He'll always reply with, "I love my VCR," and then we just chuckle.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan, I can't help but you bought an Xbox One, dude. Why? I don't know. God. He's got a gaming PC. And all Titanfall.
Yeah, could have got that.
It matters on the PC. Yeah. But either way, sound like it's not worth buying an Xbox 360 based on 4 games.
Yeah.
No.
But then
it is if you really like the 4 games, but the problem is the Xbox 360 had really sucktastic quality control.
I bought PS Vita based on 1 game, so it was like, yeah.
Well, that's fair.
I think it would depend on the price of said console. If it's perhaps £100 and you really love the game, then okay, that might be worthwhile. If you really want to play it, it might be worthwhile doing it for you. But if it's worth £300 or £400, still.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps
my main issue is the Red Ring of Death stuff.
PC game, I can't really comment, but I can sort of, in that when I got Deus Ex Invisible War, which I was really looking forward to, I really want to play it. My graphics card didn't support it because it needed a pixel shader, and I went and spent £100 on a graphics card.
Poor bastard.
But I need it for other games anyway, to be fair. So I suppose that's similar in a way, because I really want to play it. I didn't need that new graphics card, because most games didn't use pixel shades at that time. They all later did. But I actually went out and bought it specifically to play the game. So, similar in a way, I suppose. Upgrading to play something.
I suppose, maybe. It was just the idea that the quality control on the Xbox 360 sucks. I mean, we have 3 bricked systems. I think we own 4. 2 of them are completely dead.
Right.
And one of them hasn't been turned on in like a decade.
I mean, did they get better as they got later on? They never saying it wasn't like the first batch out of the law was bad.
They died for a long time, and then they said that they fixed it, and it still happened. Not as often, but it still happened. I think they fixed it with the Slim, but then you started having DVD drives die and stuff like that. So,
in terms of reliability, where does the Xbox 360 sit in regards like other consoles like PlayStation?
The Xbox was absolutely awful to the point that to appease gamers, Microsoft had to extend the warranty by 3 years. They gave you a 3-year warranty because it was almost guaranteed to turn into a molten.
I hate to be that guy, but the Xbox 360 for me was the death knell of consoles. It was the console that killed consoles for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could find a decent exclusive on the system, sure. But I couldn't get into Gears of War. That was not the console silent exclusive for me, nor was Halo. They were fun to play, you know, everyone sat around a table getting drunk, you know, playing Halo, but they weren't the exclusives that I would have played.
Yeah.
But actually, the exclusive that I really like on the Xbox is a game that like everyone else hates. Like, it's too broken to even play, and that's Bullet Witch.
All right. Yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Third-person shoot magic, I guess. And they'd said that the controls were so broken you just couldn't finish the game. So I beat the game multiple times.
Yeah.
If anyone's actually interested, I'll go into the game at a later date. But
funnily enough, people will say that about hard games that they can't play. The amount of people that moan about Dark Souls for ages because it was too hard for them. It's like, no.
No, that's fair. That's fair. It's like a lot of people they'll say like E.T. and Pac-Man and that on the Atari suck, when really it's just because they don't know how to play it.
There's gaming news for us. E.T. The myth was true, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, no, because it wasn't a myth. It wasn't a myth.
Well, yeah, but everybody was saying, is it a myth? Is it a myth? But no, they dug them up just to be sure.
It's pop culture that the myth that Atari buried millions of ET Atari 2600 cartridges in
the Nevada desert.
Yeah.
I've actually got some information about the man who did it. And the gentleman who claimed to have done it was a chap named James Heller, and he was put in charge of burying 750,000 unsold Atari cartridges, many of which were the notorious ET game, and he did it in 1983, September 1983. He worked for the company, and he was employed to enter manufacturing plant from location El Paso, Texas, and he dumped them in the cartridges in New Mexico landfill because of cost and convenience, he said.
Yeah, that's basically it, and Atari confirmed that back in 1983.
Yeah, I've been charged with getting rid of it as quickly and as inexpensively as possible, and so I did. That was my job.
Yep, and the main reason they took it down there was because they had anti-looting laws or something. So if they had dumped it in El Paso, you said?
El Paso is
they said they tried to dump stuff there wherever it was. Where the plant was, they tried to dump stuff before, and people had basically just nicked it.
Yeah, what he said was young people began to raid the dump to claim free game, so he poured 6 trucks worth of cement onto the burial to seal it.
See, now where it was buried, I saw a shit game trick thrown and EA was pilfering it.
It wasn't just ET cartridges found there.
No, they had Centipede, there were controls.
Missile Command was in there as well.
Well, it was because Atari was in such a state, and they had to, they sold the plant or whatever, or they were going to repurpose it, but they had all this stock, they had nothing, they didn't know what to do with it, so they just trashed it. Because at the time, Atari 2600 carts were going for like $1.
I can't see
agree with you.
That isn't
no
fair.
One
what does it
Xbox,
say?
just saying. We should never got an Xbox.
Oh, right,
never get an Xbox. We have many. They're just paperweights and doorstops.
Yeah.
And heaters when they work.
Heaters, actually, that's a good trick to reflow the solder. Probably really wrapping a towel to get rid of the red ring, but that'll probably last about half an hour.
Probably good for murdering someone too, but you didn't hear that from me.
What, wrapping them in a towel for half an hour?
No, with an Xbox.
Yeah.
Wrapping them in a towel for half an hour. I mean, it might work. If they've got a towel allergy, I suppose.
Well, as the chap himself said back to our Atari card, he said there was no mystery whatsoever. People made it a mystery. 100% correct.
Yeah,
it was made a mystery.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, it was actually printed in newspapers back in '83 that Atari was doing it. They tried to do it kind of hush hush, and then when people realised that was happening, they were like, okay, then.
I suppose I can see how it became a bit of a mystery because it's possibly it was only in the local news and never quite made national news, and so people got ported in the air. All we saw.
I have to ask you guys though: have either of you played the ET game?
No.
I have. Yeah. And
is it as bad as they say?
It's pretty bad. It's a confusing game, that's for sure.
If you read, because there's a fixed version out there as well.
Oh, right, okay.
I've not properly played it, but an actual cartridge.
I had an emulator version of it. I had it on.
I hate Atari emulators.
I had an Atari emulator on my old Xbox, you know.
As you do.
The old Xbox, and it had an Atari emulator on it.
The original Xbox was great for emulation.
And it had ET on it, but I particularly remember the A-Team game. And I was like, oh, cool, there's an A-Team game. I'm going to play that. And it's basically like Pac-Man, but you're Mr. T's head. Imagine being a kid and thinking, yes, I'm going to get an A-Team game, and then buying that.
We have a question.
Oh.
Do you think the games will be worth money? I'm assuming you're referring to the games from New Mexico Desert. I don't know how many copies of ET is still floating about in the world.
I don't know, and they usually only go for about $1.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not like it's well sought after.
If there was perhaps most of them got buried and there's only like 20 cartridges
I
left in the
suppose
world,
it
they
depends.
might be worth. Somebody might want them.
It might depend whether anyone generates demand. If somebody sticks on eBay, genuine ET from Nevada Desert,
Well, I'm curious to see if
people
anyone
might
actually
get mad for it. You never know.
I'm curious to see if anyone actually dusted some of that stuff off and actually
See if it
tried
works.
to see if it worked. Because I mean, some of that stuff was still in box and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
I can't mean. No, it's very hot and very. I mean, it's quite dry though, isn't it? It's not. It's quite not very humid there, is it? So they might still
But
work.
even if they don't work, just to own one from the old landfill, people probably will pay money.
But presumably, though, the landfill where they are now the property of the landfill.
Ah, okay.
I would have thought, because it's one of the one things. If you don't rubbish on a landfill, it becomes property of the landfill.
Wow.
So
They're chuffed to have that.
yeah, they can say a tourist trail where Tari dumped the cartridges. It's a case of story getting bigger than the one
Yeah,
around it.
a lot of people have actually been saying that now. Like, why has this actually become a thing? Because apparently they're releasing a documentary about it.
It's been released on the Xbox platform, apparently.
Yeah, well, because
Microsoft.
it's Microsoft that funded the dig.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thank you, Microsoft.
Doesn't mean in about 30 years' time there'll be a dig where someone goes and finds a room full of Xboxes with red rings of death.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
The rumours are true. There was a mythical warehouse full of dead Xboxes.
That's Area 51.
Yeah, must be.
It is. They're just trying to hide it.
You
know where it is.
Yeah, aliens are trying to fix the Xboxes. Their technology can't do it.
No one can fix the Xbox 360. No one. Hacker groups just give up on it. It's not even worth trying to make a better version. We'll just throw it in the damn bin.
Or sell it to China for some money.
I don't think any of us are really big fans of Xboxes, are we? Really?
They had some good games. Some. But a lot of them weren't really exclusive.
I bought one. Again, it was another one of we were saying buying a console for one game. I bought one for Assassin's Creed when the first Assassin's Creed came out because it had been touted to me as the next Thief game. Hell, was I disappointed.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah.
That wasn't particularly great. 360 I got mainly for Dead or Alive, and there were a couple other games as well.
Yeah, Dead or Alive 4, wasn't it? Came out. It was a launch title, I think.
3 was on the original Xbox.
Yeah, I had 3 for the original Xbox. That was a good game.
Original Xbox wasn't bad once they hacked it.
It was okay. It was okay. I wouldn't go above okay, to be honest.
Once they hacked it, it was an amazing system.
Funnily enough, again,
I purchased every game I had, obviously.
I liked the GameCube most from that era.
Yeah,
For the
GameCube
few
was all...
games it had.
I hated GameCube when it first came out.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated it. I didn't like the control to start with, but
Yeah, the
over
controller
time,
was a bit weird.
it was a bit kind of waffly when you first started playing.
Yeah.
But the trouble was because I didn't like the Dreamcast initially when it first came out either.
Really? I bought Dreamcast day one. I was well up with the Dreamcast.
Well, no, as soon as I got shown Phantasy Star, I was sold. You know? But then the trouble was when people tried to sell the GameCube to me, they were showing me Sonic Adventure 2. I was
a game you already had.
Yeah, as a Dreamcast fan, I was always comparing it, and I was like, well, it doesn't look as colourful because they did. To me, it looked
It
like
was
they
a
did
bit more
something
washed
to it.
out, wasn't it? The game, I think the game that got me to buy it was Luigi's Mansion. I like the look of Luigi's Mansion. And Pikmin as well. I
never played
Pikmin. Really
Pikmin.
good. I had to get them both. I think I finished both of them. I definitely finished Luigi's
I think they did
Mansion.
a Wii remake of Pikmin 1 and 2.
Yeah, they did, apparently. Yeah, I don't know if they did Pikmin 2, and they definitely did Pikmin 1.
I think they did do
Yeah.
Pikmin 2. If possible, I may have to pirate it. Purchase it.
Apparently,
Yarr.
Pikmin 2 is the more popular one because Pikmin is really hard, the first Pikmin. Everything's time-based. You've got to do everything within a specific time period. Pikmin 2 was more about exploring and doing things at your own pace, which I think
I don't know why, but when people explain
liked it.
Pikmin to me, it just reminds me of Lemmings, but more.
There are other games like Pikmin. I'm trying to think of the closest. You've got one, actually, but I don't know whether you played it. Little King's Story. You would have got it on PS Plus on your Vita.
Oh, I haven't played it.
Yeah, okay, that's similar. Yeah, there are some other similar games to Pikmin, but yeah, it's an interesting concept. Good game.
Very good stuffs.
Right.
The original Xbox sucked until Dead or Alive came out. And I got to put death metal to Dead or Alive Extreme Beach
yeah,
Volleyball.
Have you seen the? There's a link on our fun link. There's a website that's done a It's got all the original Dead or Alive actresses from the live action FMVs.
All right, yeah.
They've got them what they look like now and how much older they look now. They don't actually, to be fair, they still look all bloody good.
Right. Dead or Alive, I quite like the series. I mean,
Number 3 was my favourite one. I really
the
like
series
number
really good.
3.
2 is my favourite. See, that's the thing. When I first played it, I was.
I love how wacky it is.
Yeah.
There's some really
It's awesome.
wacky characters that I really like. I like Zack, he was always a good character. Again, based on old Dennis Rodman.
So I think
Wacky character.
Because when I said how when I initially played a lot of this stuff, I didn't really like all that much. I didn't own one, so it wasn't like it was something that I could like sit down and actually properly play. It's like when a lot of people sat down and played. Say, I can remember hearing a guy say recently that when he first watched Castlevania, he was like, "Yeah, I don't get it."
What,
But
the
then-
original Castlevania?
No, Symphony of the Night.
Oh,
Symphony of
right,
the Night.
okay,
He was like,
okay.
I don't get it. It seems really, really kind of stupid. But then he actually got to sit down and play it and have it
That was a
for a
good
time.
game.
And he really enjoyed it. It was kind of the same thing for me, really, with the Dreamcast and that. It's like it wasn't until I got
'cause
one and got to experience.
I
all of
remember
the
those days of
features.
playtesting that Dreamcast in budgets that they got from. That was like a Japanese one. It was like,
Mhm.
yes, they've got
Yeah, I
a
remember all
Japanese
that stuff as
Dreamcast.
well.
They were like, you can play it. It was awesome playing it. in
Budget
the
was
shop.
rad for getting really
Budget
good
was
Dreamcast stuff.
Funny as hell, but cool. Budget's-
A video game store.
It's an
in
independent
town.
game store from our use that a lot of in-jokes are sort of connected to, because you take a game in that you just bought and
50p.
50p is what we'll give for it. We'll give 50p for it. But it only come out today.
Yeah, it could still be in the shrink wrap, and it's still only worth
50p.
50.
Mate. Although I remember there being a sale at Game of copies of Banjo-Tooie, and I mass bought loads of them, took the budget and sold them for double what I bought them for. It was like, yes. So yeah,
Wonder if they still got a Dreamcast that I gave back to them with one screw in it.
maybe.
That's probably
Maybe.
just sat there.
They were
as a-
pretty cool actually. So I remember I was going
I
to
say if they've still got it, that was like well over a
I'd
decade
put
ago.
a
That's like a trophy
pre-order
there.
because we kind of knew the guys that worked in there, didn't we?
Yeah.
I put a pre-order on Soul Calibur, and they sold it, and I was like, but I pre-ordered it, and the guy there actually gave me his own personal copy of the game, and I that's really cool. You wouldn't
That
get many
wasn't.
places
No, they
that
were
would
an
do
alright
that.
store. They were
Very
an alright
nice
store.
guys.
I mean, that is where you got import games in this
Yeah,
town.
yeah,
wasn't it?
well,
That
yeah,
was
because
one of
we
the
had
first
loads of
places to go.
PlayStation import games, didn't we?
Yeah, well, I
Final
had, like,
Fantasy Tactics,
yeah,
Legend of Mana. You
love
had
that game. Love that game
wicked
so
game.
much. I got
How
all the
that
Dragon
never
Ball
came
Z
out over
games.
here. That's an
Well,
absolute
didn't we
crime.
get we got the Game Boy Advance version, which was a
Of what?
Legend.
Yeah.
It was awful.
The Legend of Mana on the PlayStation, very good game. And we were going to get Xenogears, weren't we? But didn't
Yeah.
end up having enough money to get it, which was a
Because
shame.
the imports were so
And
expensive.
again, that
at
doesn't
all.
come out much over here. But there's a guy that keeps telling me that I'm friends with, you've got to play Xenogears.
I've got it.
It's his favourite RPG, so I've got to
I've got
play it at some point.
I've got it now in my old age.
Yeah,
But I didn't.
we didn't have it at the time.
No,
Ah,
I was like kidney money back then. Okay,
Nice.
there we go. We've gone back to the past, and
Reminiscing,
I miss them days.
good old
Excellent.
budgets.
Back when I could sit there and just play video games like all day.
Yeah,
That's actually what I did.
I remember how we having to get the SCART leads because the game's been in black and white and stuff.
Oh
All the-
god, yeah,
all
because
the
like certain
foreign
TVs
games,
couldn't.
yeah.
They couldn't handle the signals, and then you'd have to patch the game. So you'd have to rip the game onto an ISO,
Yeah.
then patch it, and then reburn it. Then you'd have to get a swap disk or a mod chip, and
Fun times.
Because we were completely legit about stuff like this in our youth, weren't
Oh,
we? We bought all of our games, and
of course. Yeah, that was good times. I mean,
we
Can't
just, but we had to do it because there were games you couldn't get hold of over here, so we had to do it to get games that were unavailable.
so the
amount
thing is,
of
if
games
you
we-
lived in a big city, then imports were kind of easy to get hold
Yeah.
of. Because if you remember, there used to be that place in Norwich, one step.
Beyond.
Yeah, I can't.
OSP.
Oh
One
yeah,
Step
I know.
Beyond.
Yes, I
'Cause
know.
we- 'cause
Yeah,
that
I
is-
remember now.
That is the shop that got me to buy, because they had the GameCube when I first came out as well. That is the shop that actually got me to buy a PlayStation 2.
All right.
So it turns out, last episode we mentioned about launch games for the PlayStation 2. I don't think I
Yeah.
got my PlayStation 2 until about 6 months to maybe even a year in. But I actually mainly got it for Time Crisis 2, Tony Hawk's 3. Eventually picked up Zone of the Enders when that came out. Actually, I remember I picked that up like one Christmas time.
For that Metal Gear Solid 2 demo.
No, see, that's the thing I want. I was not a fan of Metal Gear Solid at all, so it didn't
No.
interest me at all. I bought Zone
I'm
of the
not
Enders for Zone of the
massively
Enders.
You must be the
but
only person out there
what
who
you got
bought
to
Zone of the Enders for Zone of the Enders.
Yeah, probably.
I actually have to admit, I did enjoy Zone of the Enders. It's
I thought it was
good
a brilliant
I think
game.
it gets very overlooked. In fact, I
it's
think,
okay. Yeah, it's definitely the sort of ugly stepchild of the series that
I
everybody
think
forgot
it is
about.
really sad that Kojima is now just being known for Metal Gear. I mean, you go back and play Police Noughts and Snatcher, and they're better than Metal Gear. Snatcher's a fantastic game, very good game. Yeah, but now he's just sort of stuck into making
He's the Metal
Gears.
Gear guy.
Sad.
You
Sad
never made any
times.
other games. You just make Metal Gear. That's all you're gonna do, and they're gonna leave you chained in that room until you make another one, and another one. Then when you go to sleep, they're gonna flog you, and you're gonna make another one. You're not
Poor
gonna
old
be
Hideo, he does have a sort of a beaten husband sort of look about him, doesn't he? Whenever you see him sort of doing interviews and stuff, and he's just like, he's so worn out and
That
tired.
poor
of Metal
soul.
Gear.
Do you think, if you look carefully, perhaps he's trying to send a secret message? Plus these weird things he puts on Twitter, actually like secret code, saying like, "Help me."
There's
I'm
probably
convinced-
secret messages in the damn game.
They're not
completely
feeding me.
convinced that Otacon is based on him, the character in Metal Gear. He made that as his like input, like his own
What,
character.
that he
The one who
weds
weds himself.
No, I mean more like the character's demeanor and like the way he is and stuff. It's very sort of, I don't know. I just always get that vibe that Kojima was like, yeah, the Otacon's kind of based on myself,
What, he's a wuss?
not wetting himself in lockers and
He's a wuss and just wets himself all the time.
being attacked by cybernetic ninjas all the time.
You mean that's
That is probably what's making him look. That's how they make
To be
him make
fair,
the
I
game.
think if I got attacked by a cybernetic ninja, I might lose my bowel control.
Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, it would be quite a scary thing to do.
Mind you, I'm surprised in a game like that. It's not a special attack, you know. Battle
What
control
is that?
lost. You like attacking the ninja.
Oh,
That's
the
what
guards
happened.
go.
That's what the things they
away.
called out a snake eater. Oh god, that just reminds me of Metal Gear Solid
What did
4
they-
with Johnny.
Oh yeah, when he gets his shit like in every game. Johnny Sasaki.
Hate
I can't believe that in Metal Gear 4 they made him like a main
Yeah, like he's a
character.
main character.
It's like
Oh
this
my
joke
God, what are you
character from all
doing?
the other games is now like a main character.
What a mess.
It's like making Benny.
Not only that, they made him like physically attractive as well, and he became like Meryl's love interest and everything. It's just-
Something
what?
like that.
The guy who shits himself in every game is now like the new hero.
Why not?
Ridiculous.
Oh, no.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
But it's pretty much a Kojima thing to do.
Protagonist of Metal Gear Solid 5 confirmed.
I'm actually. We're gonna have to do a Metal Gear Solid playthrough
Really?
at some point, like Metal Gear.
Another
Metal
one,
Gear
another
2.
playthrough. So we've got Deus Ex, Thief,
Oh, God.
Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill. How much time do you think we have?
In fairness, considering the first, I don't know, 10 podcasts were pretty much So You're Being Hunted and Thief 4. I think we have plenty of time to actually show people why these series are actually decent.
Yeah. All we've done is moan about Thief 4 for ages. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Never forgive you, Square Enix. Never.
On to our favourite section,
Oh,
Weird
yes.
News.
That's the section that gets us all the views.
It does. So if you are a new viewer or listener, depending on if you're podcasting this or YouTube, and this you're a new viewer or listener, pick the one of the above. Delete is appropriate. Depending on which one you are, basically I go through all the various new websites and shamelessly copy and paste their news stories that are slightly odd in order to try and blow mainly Luke's mind. If Adam comes in, that's a bonus. Because it's quite easy to blow his mind.
We never check to see if this stuff is like 20 years old or anything. And
I'm reasonably good at making sure.
I've
it's
never heard me
reasonable.
coming before being mentioned as a bonus, but there we go.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, if you are going to court to defend yourself against car theft, what do you think is probably the worst move you could make?
Stealing a car to get there.
Rock on, dude.
Richard
Yes, what do I win?
Lanaris claimed the title of the dumbest criminal of the year when he decided to drive to his magistrate's court in a stolen car. He took a Vauxhall Corsa from a garage before driving 30 miles to Somerset for his court date the next day, where he was charged with theft of a Ford Focus.
Too much Grand Theft Auto. Look.
Yeah, that is pretty much, isn't it?
Hey, don't you start saying that. The media will take you seriously.
The police were made aware of the theft.
Games are running our children.
Police were made aware of the theft, and so they decided to wait for him there to arrest him on his arrival, which they probably did.
As soon as he walks in the doors, you're Nick.
So he's been charged again for multiple motoring and burglary
He's been charged for
convictions.
stupidity.
Unfortunately,
God, if
crime.
only you could do that.
I don't think there's a law against this.
That's why they don't let me. That's why they don't put me in power.
Uh,
Silence the stupid. You'd have to silence yourself. Shut up.
he admits his burglary, unlawful vehicle taking, theft of a Vauxhall course, and driving while disqualified.
What an absolute idiot.
What part of the day when you wake up and think, I
That's
get
a
to
good
court?
idea.
Yeah. What stage in your daily life think, yeah, I'm going to do that. That'll work.
Sounds good to
Similarly,
me.
on a similar plan of stupid criminals, a German man was arrested on suspicion of fraud after he dropped into a police station to check if he's under investigation.
Just as bad as that pirate.
Yeah,
59
good old pirate.
59-year-old who had not been named reportedly showed up to a Salzburg, Austria headquarters Friday night and asked cops if they had anything on him.
It's not Josef Fritzl, was it?
No. They checked and found out that yes,
You've been playing too much Dungeon Keeper, son.
They
God.
checked and found out that they did have something on him, so they arrested him. And he's been pretty, yeah. So if you think the police might have something on you, perhaps, I don't know, email them, phone them, rather than
Don't
actually
do
going there.
that. If you think you're going to get nicked,
But you must
well,
be
they
curious.
might nick you.
You might be curious, but
Just wait for your star level to go down. You'll be fine.
your star level to go down.
Quick, go get your carry spray.
Yeah. If there's FBI people chasing you, you've definitely gone wrong.
Although in my case, it was go on the roof of the car park, get your bazooka out, and just blast everything inside.
But there's always one or two places in every Grand Theft Auto game where you can go where nothing can touch you. And in Vice City, it was in the construction site. If you get to the right bit, all missiles from headquarters would miss you.
You can drop onto that
you
balcony
sit
as well,
there for
can't you?
hours shooting everything, and no one could touch you. It was marvellous.
So you run out of ammo.
You haven't used an all arrow cheat.
Of course. That's the way to play. Grand Theft Auto without cheats.
Now, in these modern times, you have to be very sort of open to allowing any sort of marriage as it is, and people marry whoever they want. Unfortunately, people won't take it too far, and a man has launched a court challenge for the right to marry his laptop. He's applied.
I'm just looking at that laptop there, and it's looking pretty tasty, you know.
You keep away, she's mine. He's applied. He's filed a 50-page motion to the 10th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeal because he was denied the right to marry his MacBook machine spouse by Utah officials. He argued that his love
By Utah officials.
That's
because he's not marrying multiple
Probably.
MacBooks.
He's argued that his love interest for his porn-filled Apple device is no different to that shared by his partners. This is his argument. It's intervention in a separate lawsuit challenging the state's same-sex marriage ban. So basically, he's riding the bandwagon. He says they discriminate against me when they discriminated against me when they rejected my request to marry my computer. I approached the Utah clerk to have a marriage license issued for me and my machine spouse. The clerk denied my request for marriage license. My object of my affection was outside the scope of the narrow definition. If anything, my marriage to machine possesses less of a risk.
That man's dream to have his own floppy disks has now been ruined.
But is it 3.5? Is it 3.25, 5.5, or was it 5.25, 3.5?
Oh dear.
Why do people call 3.5 floppy disks? They're not floppy. Anyway, if anything, he's married. He said yes. So that if anything, his marriage to machine possesses less of a risk, since possible amicus divorce proceedings could be avoided if the marriage fails.
You got a virus. Shit, you've given me a virus. I knew I should have worn protection.
Presumably, it's not a MacBook Air. 'Cause that's got
Norton,
that's got a fade.
where were you?
Just say to him, right, you are allowed to get married. You are not allowed to go anywhere near your own hand. I'm not allowed to touch the damn
I've
thing.
got restraining
No
order against
presumably-
my laptop.
Presumably, I was going to make a joke with the MagSafe connected, but I stopped myself. Presumably, it's not MacBook Air, because if it was a MacBook Air, it would have no ports on it, really, would
I
it?
think so. Razor
I
thin
bloody love
slash him up.
weird news.
Why? Why? What is wrong with this idiot? Other than
But this goes on more.
oh,
What's wrong with the computer wanting to marry him, you know?
I don't think it's got much of a choice. It's been gagged in the corner.
Well, so the speaker's mooted.
Oh wait, it's an Apple product. Everything makes sense.
Proves
Except
I
that.
can feel his eyes boring into me at that.
Judge Ferrari's challenge, saying it was removed from reality and saying it has no place in the ongoing lawsuit. He also has previously tried to sue the TV network A&E for firing Duck Dynasty's Phil Robinson in the wake of homophobic comments. And he also attempted to claim damages from Apple for failing to add a safe mode to his computer.
I'd love to hear what Duck Dynasty chat would have to say about people that want to hook up with their laptops.
He tried to sue Apple for failing to add a safe mode to his computer, which he said left to his pornography addiction.
Oh dear.
Poor Luke. Oh, Luke.
I'll be thankful.
Is it wrong
guns
to
aren't
think
allowed
that
in
the
this
one
country
question to ask is
easily.
what kind of porn did he actually have on there? Was it pictures of computers
It
in
must
those
have been.
skimpy underwear? Like,
Yeah. Oh, look, this one's got all the cables out.
That's the same thing when people tell me that they start, like, the government around here started saying, the government in the UK was saying that they were banning porn sites and all that kind of stuff. But they were locking down torrent
Not
sites and porn
all
sites
porn
and stuff.
sites.
Yeah, but they were still
illegal porn sites.
I don't know what the hell they were doing, but either ways, everyone's like, oh yeah, they locked down all the porn sites and stuff. I was like, oh, I went to Kawasaki and Honda.com earlier, and it still looked fine to me. I was like, what? It was fine. I don't give a crap about any of the other stuff that people look at.
Oh dear, I think we're starting to go to dangerous internet.
I'm not going to marry my bike.
I'm just now imagining this guy going, oh, God,
Mate,
it's got Windows
mate,
95, Windows 2.0 on it. It's a GILF. Oh, I love it.
This one's on a network. It's a MILF.
Oh dear.
Fun times.
MS-DOS.
That's pretty hardcore, dude. Seriously.
No, surely it'd be Unix because Unix has got a mount and dismount command.
Bad.
Oh,
okay,
dear.
moving on. Is that
Okay.
it?
No, there's more. There's more. It's not more. Not for him. There's not just more reading.
Thank God, Fruit Loop's gone.
Okay. Now, are you concerned, despite the fact there's never been any scientific evidence, are you concerned about irradiating of your bollocks?
No.
Okay, well, if you are concerned, you can now solve this by a British scientist has invented some silver-lined boxer shorts to repel radiation from everyday gadgets. He basically
Did they protect your balls from being detected by satellite?
Maybe. It's in fact it used to creates.
The aliens can't see my balls.
It's called the wireless armor underwear, and it uses a small Faraday cage.
I was going to say they've just basically made a pair of underwear with a Faraday cage in it. Rock on.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And he says the pants are necessary because of falling sperm counts, which he believes Pie-Tucci's gadgets we use every day.
Well, that's good, 'cause it cures the stupid.
I'm just having visions of old Randy Marsh with his bits in the microwave.
Oh, dear. And you'll be knowing he's on Indiegogo fundraising at the moment for this. He says the communication systems in Parliament and vital installations are all protected by Faraday cages to stop them being interfered with. Now you can protect your most valuable assets too with the wireless armour. It covers the entire range of radiation emitted by wireless devices, from voice and text through to 4G and Wi-Fi. Well, given that, I'm pretty sure that wired devices don't emit the same radiation regardless of whether you're using voice or text. I'm sure it works the same.
See,
No,
I
it completely swaps out.
I
Man.
honestly thought the future was building up to testicular
And he
Wi-Fi, so they're kind of defeating the object.
He realised that
Take this backwards.
He was teaching physics in Switzerland when he realised his gadgets would expose him to huge amounts of radiation. Where is this guy? Because we know there have been numerous studies that have proven that the radiation that we produce do not have no long-term effect on people. Hundreds of studies have been done into it, and no one's had this problem. No one's ever found
He
the
had
link.
to come up with a way to explain his impotence
He
to his wife.
only wants-
He went full scale. You can't blame
He only
him,
wants to raise me £30,000 for this.
Let me cure the stupid.
And he's going to do, for early bags, we'll get the buy them for £14 each. He also wants to develop a bra against radiation as well. Now,
I've noticed that actually has started to become a thing, like Faraday cages and stuff for your clothing and stuff, like so you could because there was apparently a jacket that was done recently to stop wireless theft.
Faraday cages are also a very common tactic for shoplifters. I'm not going to tell you how these Faraday cages do shoplifting, but they are. It's quite a common thing to do to shoplift. Now,
So
what?
now you know why everyone's funding them jackets with the cages built in, like the Faraday cages built in,
Thieves
like the
Guild.
pockets all there.
Yes.
What,
Now.
we've got modern Thieves Guild now.
Well, on to our favourite country. You can guess what this is.
Go on.
North Korea.
Dear leader.
Yeah,
No,
leader.
YouTube, get that anthem on. We'll all stand.
Press the button.
We're going to have to get this out. We're going to have to get this all sorted out. I want a little flag on the table next podcast.
Fine.
Are there Kim Jong-il bobbleheads? Please tell me there are.
I'm sure we can get, yes,
That
we'll
would be
get one.
so good.
North Korea
There must be Delhi merch. Every
Okay.
variety.
North Korean diplomats, I didn't know they had any, have asked the British government to step in after a London hairdresser used an image of the secretive regime's leader in a promotion for cheaper haircuts.
Didn't we have this before?
Yeah,
No,
we
no.
spoke about it outside of podcast.
Okay,
Did
fair
we?
enough.
I don't remember
Yeah,
this.
I spoke to Luke about it on
Right.
Facebook, I think.
Oh, you've ruined weird news now.
Yeah,
That was hilarious.
we had this
Yeah,
conversation.
That was when we started
were saying,
singing the
yeah,
Korean
we're
national anthem.
we're basically going to be carried away to North Korea because
Yeah.
now we're discussing how great
Well,
it is.
it was at
Yeah, there you go.
M&M Hair Academy in South Early in West London. It featured an image of Kim Jong-un and his distinctive hairstyle alongside the words "Bad Hair Day."
Terrible.
They said on Tuesday, two men claiming to be North Korean officials had confronted the owner over the poster, which police told Sky News they had refused a call to investigate the matter from London North Korea's embassy.
For a minute, I thought Nick was going to say
Now,
that
I would have
North
loved
Korea had sent in reports to the
I'd have
British
loved it if
government
his
that there were a
best-
bunch of blokes talking, a
Imagine
bunch
if
of
his
blokes on the
best
East
buddy,
Coast.
Dennis Rodman, had gone in and just gone, what are you trying to say about Kim Jong's hair, man? Well, his own hair, you know, like...
The Foreign Office has now revealed it received an objection to the promotion from the North Korean embassy. The letter apparently says urged government to take necessary action to stop the provocation. A spokesman said, "We have received a letter from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea embassy and will be responding in due course."
Leave dear leader alone.
Yeah.
Kim, just grow your hair, mate. Grow your hair, grow a beard.
This
think he'd look
is
good
the
with a beard,
style you
long
should be
hair.
having.
Oh, yeah,
These
it's-
stars are what you should be having, Kim.
Everyone should be doing
You'd
this.
look amazing, Kim. I've got to say, yeah.
Considering people always think that we have some kind of involvement with the police on a daily basis, but
The poster has now been taken down.
oh man, might have just
That's
get a
but
copy.
apparently it's not because of the complaints, because the people get coming to get the photo taken with it.
Okay,
Excellent.
that's gold.
Apparently the embassy is just 10 minutes walk from the shop in nearby Gunsbury Avenue, which we need to go visit now, I think.
Rockin'. Let's do it. Let's do the next
Um,
podcast there.
That sounds very foreboding. We're loving North Korea here, and he's like, yeah, we need to go visit them.
Let's go to the North Korean embassy.
Okay.
Is that going to be episode 50? I can't remember what episode 50
Episode
is.
100 we go to North. Oh,
No, that's when we
embassy.
go to North Korea.
Right, okay.
So you think we need to start playing it that far in advance, at episode 50?
Possibly.
Oh, fair
You never know, it might happen. We might start pumping these things out like once a decade.
enough. Now, so another favourite long-term subject.
You
Not-
actually printed out the comment I put in the show notes.
Well, I felt bad deleting it. You've only just noticed. You've had those sat in front of you for the last hour and
I don't
38 minutes,
I
and you
don't
haven't
read the
noticed.
show notes.
That's your problem. This is why this why this whole thing's a farce.
Well, you don't even write in them.
No, yeah, I'm working with amateurs here. Right, Luke, remember the very start of the
I
thing?
like to work off the cuff, you know.
Right, Luke, at the very start of this program, you said, I hate people who go and show the camera stuff.
I'm not talking about it. I'm just saying I can't believe you kept doing it. I don't have to tell them what you kept in.
So you didn't even miss you for our poor visitors.
Read
Right.
it out.
Okay, so the people on the camera just got to see. Made me chuckle during the edit. Yes, I felt like a fool. That was the whole 1984 thing. Nick, you're a bug.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except the camera's mirrored, I think. So
Uh,
That would look like
no,
something.
it's fine. I can see it here. Not very clearly, but it is fine. Right,
we need a better camera.
we do. Well, that's your department, your technical department. Okay, now some of my other favourite weird news, boys, is non-urgent 999 calls.
Again?
Yeah, we love these. Always come
Oh,
every 3
great.
months. This is from Scotland this time. And they've started tweeting some of their non-emergency calls. They've started tweeting them.
What, to embarrass people?
Pretty much. A person complained called 999 to complain that a dog stopped them to urinate in their clothes as it passed by. Police response for this was urgent for the dog, but not for us. Very good. Very good,
Oh,
Sarge,
yes.
please. Another caller asked where she'd get one of the police officer tops for her daughter's non-police job. Presumably a stripper. They received a call from a concerned mother. Her son was stopped and had his cannabis taken away from him. She was requesting it back.
Nice.
Another one said there was water was coming from their ceiling. Thought the water should be charged with breach of the peace.
I'm going to North Korea. Screw it.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
Do you have this problem in North Korea?
I don't care. I'll sit in a dark room.
Another person called 99 to complain. The £5 of fuel he put in his car hadn't moved the fuel gauge from 0. He said it was fraud.
How old are these people?
I don't
Where
know.
did all this stupid come from? I thought I was pretty damn thick, but these people are just...
Another complained about seagulls misbehaving, wanted them charged with breach of the peace.
A seagull's nicked me
God,
chips.
it's coming live around here, Jesus.
No. Another caller, dial 999 to report a fox in the garden. Advised not a police matter. They replied, but threat of dogs. I think that's meant to be, but I'm afraid of dogs. But they've put as, but threat of dogs.
Scotland, achievement unlocked.
No, this is what the Scottish police put in their tweet, okay? I cannot be done for that. That is actually copy-paste from the Scottish police tweets. They put that in there.
They could we theoretically go sit in their garden dressed up as foxes, you know?
Yeah.
I'm curious as to whether that's just, they've cut it to fit the character limit, or whether that's literally just them trolling.
I think it's them trolling.
So contact the police, that's the next job.
I'd say it's a miracle when you slam your head against the keyboard and what you want to come out is pretty damn close, then, you've accomplished something.
Your face rob, that's what you get.
999 caller Xmas asks us, how long does it take to cook a turkey? It's an important thing at Christmas. This one's a good one. A man received a letter asking him to attend a hospital appointment on Tuesday, the 6th of February. He decided to dial 999 to tell us that Tuesday wasn't the 6th. I have checked up on this, and Tuesday was actually a Thursday.
Okay.
Yep, that's good. And finally, a lady called 999 to tell us her laptop was broken, asked for a lift to the shops for a new one. They're not a taxi service.
I was going to say, last I checked, that we have something called a taxi for that.
Yeah, the police don't just do errands for you. Presumably she wants blues and twos as well to get there quicker.
I hope it wasn't broken by that bloke who fancies laptops.
Probably.
I hope
Travelled
not.
quite a way. That's where it started, was it? And then you got sent to...
He's trying out the CD drive, self-loading.
Man, that must suck.
Well, you were asking us to do the podcast quicker. We've actually finished quicker today.
2 hours there.
Hey,
Got less to edit out now.
well done.
I'm not going to edit any of this, though. This is gold. This is pure gold.
Fair enough.
My job's
Not
done.
that we can really edit it out when it's gone live, so
Yeah. Compression, clean up, job done. Behind the scenes, apparently.
Shooting behind the scenes. Yeah, well, there you go. That's behind the scenes just there. Yeah. What else can we show them?
We have
Fruit
jelly babies.
Yeah.
Well, you've got
I have a mobile which is currently on airplane
Gentlemen,
mode.
there's only 2 left.
Right, okay.
Who's having the last 2 jelly babies?
That'll be me and you, because Drew won't eat them.
Nice one.
Okay.
Green or orange?
Orange.
Because
Thank
I'm
you.
kind.
And there we go.
Now, I'm milk and sugar in my tea.
Lots of sugar, possibly tea.
No sugar, just milk.
There you go. So,
That's funny. You've been having plenty of sugar in your teas, haven't you?
what else can we show? It's a laptop.
Costs a lot. Well, it did.
Well, it
once.
did in 2005 when I bought it.
Oh, that was so long ago.
We use Google Docs to write our stuff on.
I don't think that's quite the behind the scenes that people are looking for.
Well,
right
I'm making use I've got around me.
now. What are you trying to do? Pad the podcast?
Yes.
Are you trying to give me something?
Yes.
We basically talk about how we're not going to be offensive beforehand and then just be as offensive as we
Our
can.
fans,
Yeah,
We're
pretty
right.
much.
Our fans demanding behind the scenes. We must do it for next podcast. We need to have a film of behind the scenes.
I'm not filming that. Giving me some more to edit. No. You
So-
do it. You do it.
Oh,
You've
I
got
will.
time with the camera.
I will.
Learn.
I will film it.
Mister, I can't even pitch shift audio.
Well, because no one will come teach me.
So the filming will be us just sat here talking rubbish, me being sick in the toilet.
That was
Yeah,
so awesome.
Yeah.
What
Episode
else?
9.
Episode 9, yeah.
That would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
great behind the scenes, seriously.
That would have been
Camera
some pretty
following
good
you about. It's like one of them backstage
Because
rock
of the
gigs.
amazing mix of rum and Tizer, my puke was radioactive orange.
Tizer?
Iron Brew.
Iron Brew. Same
You're
same
so
thing.
drunk
No,
you
it
can't
isn't.
No.
Like you're gonna
I've,
beat you to
I've
death with a
offended his
microphone
favourite
stand.
beverage. That doesn't matter what alcohol we put in it, so long as it's Iron Brew. But yeah, it was a weird
No.
mix either way.
We'll try and we'll try and get you. We'll try and do a proper behind the scenes for you at some point in the future. When
Could this have been a behind the scenes of weird news?
Yeah. Right.
I was behind the scenes of seeing the script, not
Okay.
script. Sham knows.
Silence. Yeah.
Like we can even read. I can't.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Not that my glasses.
We don't just stand saluting the North Korean flag for half an hour before the podcast goes live.
Now we've been asked
not at all.
when we are next on live. Wow.
See, this is the thing, because I think we should do. If we're going to start streaming this stuff, I think we should do more.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely.
up until recently, we've been doing one a month. And
Yeah.
it's been taking the mick, to be honest. But we're planning on doing some more stuff on the channel. It's just kind of getting everyone together.
Every fortnight.
Every fortnight? Well, ask.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Would you guys be happy with every fortnight? I know it's going to be a bit of a delay from us saying this to you actually getting it. So while you're waiting for your reply, I'll get on with the next bit. So, if you go to randnerds.com, there should be a link on our YouTube channel somewhere. If not, there's a link to the Google page. I don't know you yet. That one, I will update Google page. It's a bit out of date. I need to update it. But I'll have a link to our website. We always post stuff on the website. We have got a Twitter feed, which is randnerds. You can email us at randnerd without an s at gmail.com. Obviously, you've got us on YouTube, which obviously you're already watching, hopefully.
I love how professional he is.
Yeah, very. We haven't screwed it up yet.
If you are on Steam, we have now got a Steam group just set up called Rand Nerds.
You'll see these two on there a lot.
Yeah, we're on there. So by all means, come on, say hello. We are on there. Just join up on that.
Laugh as I'm buying games and not playing them.
Yeah, we have also got a Facebook group called Rand Nerds. So you can find us on Facebook and follow us on there. And as I already mentioned, we've already got the randnerds.com website, which we are trying to put more stuff on. It's just time because we all work full-time jobs. He's a self-employed. I work full-time. Forney works mainly with
most of the
we
time.
try and fit in what we can do. When we'll next be on live, we're going to try and do for 2 weeks. So if you go to those websites,
Well, I'd say to start with, subscribe to the channel, and that will update you to any up-and-coming live events. I'll make sure the guys post them in advance, because it will give people. It will actually have a schedule, and then people can add it to a Google Docs calendar or whatever. And so if there's any game streams or anything that people want to see, send us a message on YouTube or email us.
Or email us. I said email us at the address I give you. If you've got any ideas for us to talk about, by all means,
send it all in.
Send it all in. We want to try and sort of make a bit of a community go. I'd like to go. It's great.
Yeah,
actually, it's been lovely being able to talk
Actual
to our people
feedback.
and talk to people. Yes.
Yeah.
Can we send me a link? Well, I said it should be. You're saying YouTube better than me. Actually, I'll put the link to the website.
Put the link in the comments.
There you go.
And then I'll put a link in the description.
I mean, it would be nice,
video.
like we were saying before as well, that we're going to do some reviews and stuff and things that we can then put on the channel.
If the editing sucks, it's just I'm being lazy, so I apologise.
It won't let me put a link in.
Why not?
Comments can't contain links.
That
Just
sucks.
put a space between.
Yeah.
.com.
Spaces. Cheat the system. Get permaban. Obey.
Yeah, from that book by Mike Orwell.
Right.
It's
not letting me send it, so it's randnerds.com.
Yeah.
randnerds.com.
I'll put a link in the description after
We'll put it in there, and there's a link on the show page, so hopefully you can track us down from there.
Yeah.
So we'll try and plan these. I'll try and it's a bit more regular.
Yeah. We'll say a podcast every 2 weeks.
Every
if
2
we
weeks.
can.
Every 2 weeks.
And then game streaming and other stuff will probably
When we
come up
can.
as and
When we can.
Probably mostly these two.
Yeah. But I say, if you've got anything, by all means email it in. Weird news stories, stuff you like to talk about, games you like to talk about, any suggestions for us to play.
Yeah.
Why not? Send it in. Be great to hear from you.
Right.
Well, thank you very much for watching. I've been Nicholas Jackson.
I'm Luke Roberts.
I'm Adam Thorne.
We'll see you in the future.
Take care,
Thank you.
guys.
Now let's see how this thing turns off.
Yeah.
Yay, live! Because I'm terrified. Just one last thing before I do go over there and press that button. I'm terrified I'm going to press the button that's going to cut off the last part because it hasn't buffered or whatever.
Right,
Let's try it.
Right, okay.
Ready?
Okay.
Ready? Get ready. There's a button.
Oh,
Watch it.
Go.